And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the Unrise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And we're joined all the way from somewhere in LA, Chris Cormier.
All right. What's up, guys? Good to see you again.
Christopher, it's always a pleasure to speak to you, mate.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, I wanted to get you on because obviously there's a lot going on in the industry right now. We're 4 weeks out from the Arnold Classic. We're 6 weeks out for the Olympia. There's been so much going on with, obviously there's been a lot of deaths. There's been a lot of controversy with Arnold, all these other things. Where should we start? What for you has been the biggest talking point in the last few weeks?
Just I think some of different deaths, different things that's been like really, I don't know what to call it. I don't know how to describe it, but it's been a lot of things that haven't happened before, basically. You know.
What's your feelings on the amount of deaths that we've been having? Thing is, it's been people who are competing. It's been people who've been retired 20, 30 years. What's your feeling on that? Do you think it's just coincidence, or it just all kind of happened at once? So what's your feelings?
Especially with COVID, we don't know exactly what's happening with every situation. You know, I find it kind of alarming that some of these deaths, these people haven't been even competing that long. Yeah. Some of these people have only been competing 5 to 8 to 10 years or whatever. When, like I say, I started a super long time ago. I was a teenager, so that's in the 80s when I was, competing, starting to compete, but went on into the 2008 area, 7 area, whatever. Like I said, some of these people are, they're in the, 60s and 50s and whatever and passing. But like I said, it's, as you said, there's some people competing today I think it's just a lot of stupidity. I don't know. So I just feel like it's a lot of coaches being broadcasted as some of the best ones. Mm-hmm. But I think it's just a really dicey level of people trying to become famous off of other people in some kind of way. I don't know. Okay. I always thought, I had my day in the sun. I didn't, I'm not trying to build a name off of trying to be the best guru or the whatever, or this high skilled guru. You given protocols that's, not warranted to anyone's health or acting as if, they're just that good when they're obviously just given a whole lot of, not only diuretics, but, just in general, there's big protocols at all, I just came from an area where it's like you're doing the least, working the most for your goals you're trying to make. But just start with the least and keep it as least as you can throughout.
We've had deaths. We've had Mohamed Benaziza, we had Andreas Munzer, and that was kind of blamed on diuretics as well. I remember IV Lasix was almost like a mainstay in the 90s. And Paul Dillette, 94, carried off stage. What do you think's changed? Do you think it's just as the same as it was then, or what do you think it is?
Well, when Andreas Munzer and Momo and all that stuff happened, I was touring, and I was right next to these guys at those times. But back then, it struck me as, okay, I need to be very careful about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, because it hit me kind of hard, like I said, because these guys are next to me 1 year in Europe, and next thing you know, they're not there. Yeah. So it was never, throughout my whole career, I never was in it to be the driest guy up there. I just wanted to bring a healthy look and be not only healthy, but just be smart about it. But that was, as you know, I was competing in up to 10 shows a year. Yeah. and I wasn't, but it wasn't but like I said, but I wasn't doing anything drastic to be dry. I just wanted to have separation, and full as I could be, um, for my metabolism and everything. But like I said, it wasn't like trying to be the most ripped glutes guy or the whatever. I was showing a good physique, and let them judge me after that.
What do you think the biggest kind of as a coach, if you're prepping someone, what do you think is the one thing that you would always try to avoid? Is it things like water restriction or diuretics or?
Yeah. I just want to do the least amount, the least changes at the end as possible.
Yeah.
Because everyone looks good in the gym and they're pumped, and you see the striations, and you can you're a little bit, you didn't mess with anything, you're not nervous, you're not trying to I don't know. I just like that look from like being right when you pumping up, you're training. That look is what I like to have.
Right.
When people start trying to dive into losing water and not knowing where this water is coming from, your muscle is 75% water to start, and I just think it's much more of a beautiful, like, it can't just be a conditioning competition. That's not it. That's not, it was never bodybuilding to me, like I said, but, work on the different aspects it takes, work super hard in the gym, pay attention to where you need to improve, and bring the best package overall, not just going for, if I make you this dry or whatever. I just remember seeing people on tour that tried, some new stuff. I even tried a new one. I don't know the even name of it right now off the top of my head, but it's just so strong, some of these diuretics, and you're already at the lowest amount of water and body fat that your system can even keep you alive in, and then you want to do something on top of that. I just always had it has always struck me as, a little dangerous, especially when, things have happened in the past. Like I said, it was, I don't want to say his name, but we were on tour in Australia, and I'm walking down I carved up early because I carved up around 6 o'clock. So I'm coming from the restaurant, and I see him in the doorway like this, and he was just full of sweat, but he was like, had his hand on each side of the doorway, and he was just like, I was like, what the fuck? What's going on? He's like, oh, I didn't want to wake anybody up, but I was cramping, and I couldn't even move from this spot. It's like in the actual doorway, the door open.
Shit.
And I was like, I was like, dude, call somebody. Don't just sit there and act like you don't want to wake anyone. Wake everybody up. Shit.
Yeah.
And I remember we gave him some salt water and some, he kind of came out of it, and then he just, hydrated himself up some, and, he was all right, but that could have been a scary moment right there.
I think especially as well with some of these shows, and they're in such hot climates as well, like Australia. I mean, I was in Spain, I was in that venue. It was a fantastic venue, but it was so hot in there. And I was thinking, I was starting to feel dizzy, and I wasn't cutting water. I wasn't competing. I was just doing like commentary. So I was thinking, what was it like? I mean, Zach said to me, Zach Karr, he says, backstage, he said, I was just rolling around in sweat, in a pool of sweat. Like he said, like a big slug. That's what he said. Yeah, it's so hot, it's like, guys, get some aircon,
Jeez, yeah. That's another thing. You gotta, I don't know, the climate can have a lot to do with it, but like I said, just doing the least on anything like that would probably be your best bet.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I've noticed you've your show was a couple of months ago, and I've seen on your Instagram you're working with Breon. Do you want to tell us what's going on with you at the moment?
Yeah, even Danny Ewing, he's doing the Arnold Classic first, so I had started with him. Made some great changes already. We're just looking forward to bringing in these last 4 weeks for him. We're gonna meet up today. I haven't gotten him and Bring Out together yet, but he's definitely improved a lot. He won the New York Pro
Okay.
Classic this year, so he's improved vastly over that already.
Sorry, what? Danny Unan?
Yeah.
Oh, you're working with Danny? I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's we train in the same gym since I've been here in San Diego, but we haven't gotten together until this time.
Okay.
But I seen him. I always saw him on stage, and I always thought, he could be really good. I just thought that he was missing some things, and he needs to really balance his body out more. So that's been the main focus right now. So he's he don't get a whole lot of press, but he has a great little package on him.
Hasn't he had 2 6th places at the Olympia?
Yes, what's that?
I think he's had 2 6th places at the Olympia.
Oh yeah.
He's good. He's top 6. Yeah. I mean, he's top 6. He's a legit top 6 guy twice.
So he's going to definitely make. He's gonna leapfrog somebody. I don't know who exactly, but he's definitely gonna leapfrog somebody.
Chris, the classic this year is going to be unbelievable at the Olympia, mate.
Oh yeah. It's fun. It's fun. It's I think a lot of guys share close to the same type of extraordinary physiques. Just my only thing is a lot of them are taller, a lot of them are shorter. Mm-hmm. Are you gonna judge this thing like bodybuilding? Like, okay, here's a bigger guy, a shorter guy, or are you gonna judge the overall best package up there? Like, what's the mindset behind the judging? That's always gonna be something when some of these guys are 260 and 270 pounds in the off season, when the other guys can't get over 215 or 220 or something like that. Then coming down to judge them all,
Yeah. So Robert Timms, I mean, that's a big guy.
Yeah.
That's a big guy.
Dude, Yeah, he's a big dude, and Bomstead is improving. Everyone's improving right now. It's just I just hope they keep it classic, and I hope they don't start looking like open guys going against classic guys.
Yeah, I mean, some of the classic guys are huge, mate. Huge.
Yeah. Even in the physique category, some of these guys are really big these days, man.
Yeah.
I mean, at first they're trying to really keep it more like a surfboard type looking guy.
Surfboard, yeah.
But surfers, but now it's like they become some pretty beastly dudes up there in physique category.
But with very small calves.
Yeah, exactly. Don't look at the calves.
Don't look at the calves. Chris, some of these guys, right? Like you said, their upper bodies are absolutely enormous, and then you think, how could their calves actually be that small? How could their calves actually be that small?
Start doing something, got to do something.
Yeah, for the small calf guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, so let's talk about the Mr. Olympia, mate. I mean, do you want to talk about the Arnolds or the Olympia, or should we just go? What do you want to do? What do you want to talk about? Arnold? Come on, Chris. Let's talk about. Let's just talk about the Olympia, the big one, mate. Well, I've got a feeling it's going to be an absolute, a real mix-up this year. I think we're going to have a lot of shocks. What's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I think but a lot of these guys have been competing all year long. That's going in there. I think that's going to be really hard to re-peak again. That's one thing that I was always trying to be really good at the Arnold Classic, but 5 months later, 6 months later, it was hard to bring that same package or conditioning that I did at the Arnold Classic. So it's just depending on how in tune these guys are with their physiques, some of these guys. But then they have some people who haven't competed all year long that's going to obviously have the upper hand when it comes to hitting their peak and being their best for the show. You got Rami, who's gonna obviously be looking to repeat. But I mean, I don't think anyone's unbeatable up there. It depends on who's coming in hard and fast on that inside track for the title. So
give me
everyone's been beaten.
Give me 3 names of people of competitors that could potentially beat Rami. That's it.
You have to go with Curry. You have to go with William. You have to go with William because William is looking more healthier this year than last year. I know he was coming back off some injury stuff, but he's looking a lot healthier this year. So you got to keep that in mind. I know that the judges like him to if he's at his absolute best, and you got to give him a hard look. And then who would that be?
Hadi? What about this guy? What about this guy?
Yeah, this guy too.
What do you think about Akeem? What about Akeem?
He's one that has enough muscle to go hand in hand with Rami. If he can continue to add density to his lift, and he's definitely someone also that you got to take more serious now when it comes to thinking about the Olympia title. He had his rocky career when it comes to conditioning, being in shape, but I think from looking from the judge from last year, and he's always been the closest thing we had from like a Burrow Fox type of look.
Yeah.
Which is, you can always be, you got to wonder what type of conditioning they in when they go into a show. So that's, he's in that category now.
What about Ruli? Because we all saw Ruli at Chicago at probably 50%. I was in Alicante and I was amazed what Ruli had done in 3 weeks. I'll be honest. It was incredible what he'd managed to bring round again. I think if he was 50% in Chicago, he was maybe 80, 85 in Alicante. What do you think he could really kind of get back up there like he was in 2018?
He could, for sure. He's got it in him. He works hard, and we got to think about Nathan. Nathan making leaps and bounds. I know he's looking to get into that top area also. Now that we, think about the guys, and I've been around these guys. These guys don't like to lose. That's for sure. And they have a lot of heart. Rolly and Nathan does too. So he can improve more. He's going to need to improve more because I think, judges wanted to see him improve. He's been out for a while and he get a chance to compete the last year, due to COVID and stuff like that. So he's another one that he's going to definitely need to show that improvement and show that he belongs with the best of the best.
Do you think Hadi could do it?
Hadi's been training hard all year long. I'm just, I don't know exactly what he's doing, but I mean, I'm like an old school guy when it comes to, we had different guidelines as far as that look. If it's too much of a artificial look, is it too much of a just depending on how he puts it together. If he gets over here in time enough to dry out properly, because I haven't seen the best Hadi yet, because I've seen him in the 212, and I thought that suited him better as far as like hardness and density and all that stuff. Yeah. And I know he gave Flex Lewis a hell of a run when they went head to head back in the day, which a lot of people arguably thought he should have won the show.
Korea 2017, yeah.
So I haven't seen that particular guy yet. Yeah. So if he comes in with that and improved to the open class, if you can bring that type of distance to the open class, then he can give Rami a run also.
Yeah.
I mean, at his height.
Did you hear that?
But Rami's always in shape. To me, it's like people make a big deal out of how he looks, but he always looks like that. I mean, Rami's not a person who cheats on his diet, so he's on a diet year round. So they act like they're impressed by him being in shape. Like, he's always been in shape. It's just the way he was peaking for the show wasn't conducive to him looking the best he's looked. Because I've always raved about him 5 weeks out, but it was those last 2 weeks I was never understanding what was happening.
Yeah.
You know.
So did you hear that? William Bonac is now working with Coach Abdullah?
What's that?
William Bonac announced. I saw it on his Instagram today that he's now working with Coach Abdullah, Brandon Curry's coach.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it happened today. It was announced today.
They used to hate each other, didn't they?
Did they? Oh, no. They made friends now. They made friends. They made nice.
I'm kidding. No, I'm joking. I know they used to have a lot of fun back in the day. That was always funny to me. But yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, hopefully you'll get some good guidance and be his absolute best.
Yeah. So,
awesome.
Who's winning the 212 then?
212. See, that's a tough one, because I think Lunsford he has some new coaching with Hani. So I know people was always looking for him to be, one of the front runners, but he never hit his peak yet. He's never been that guy yet.
Yeah.
His best showing was, when he won the USA, and you thought he was going to keep making those steps, but I just think he got outshined due to coaching and stuff like that. But he's going to be a tough comer, man. Him and Clarita, he's a champion. He's shorter in stature than a lot of these guys, and a lot lighter. So I know he's trying to come in big as possible, but I just don't want to see him lose every little line he has trying to be the biggest guy up there.
Have you seen the new muscle though that Lunsford has put on? I'm just worried if he can. If he could retain that and slip into the 212. I mean, do you think there's anyone that could beat him? Clarita, I suppose.
Well, they got the prodigy coming through this year. He seemed to have his mind in a better place.
Oh, Keon, of course. Yes, yeah. Of course.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be close to a really good shot in the show with those three guys right there. Do you think it just depends on who's going to do what at that time, because they all look remarkable in the same shots, basically.
So Keon nails his condition. Derek Lunsford retains all that muscle he's put on and makes it to 212. You know that Sean Clarita is going to be improved because he does every single year, because he's literally like a mini Ronnie. Who wins?
Yeah.
Who wins?
Yeah. So there you go. That's it. That's the three.
Okay.
I'm looking for. I'm looking for.
Oh, you think I'll be the top three?
That's what I'm looking for.
Okay. All right then, mate. That's interesting. So, have you been doing some stuff with Breon?
Yes.
How's that going?
He got here. He actually went out of town to do an appearance today, but yeah, so I want to get him and Danny training at the same time.
Nice.
And posing at the same time. I think that's going to push them both to get some extra little spunk, getting ready for these shows, because they never really trained around each other before. Yeah. So yeah, Breon is he's the lightest he's been at this far out so far. So hopefully we won't have to get that long big crash like he was around 189 pounds a couple days ago.
What's his weight limit for? It has to be for classic.
180.
Oh shit!
I know.
Whoa, shit! Breon, I loved when I was at the Olympia in 2017. I think that was his all-time best conditioning. I remember I walked in I've never seen hamstrings that deep in from the back, that they were like somebody sliced them with a knife.
So that's the goal, is to try to get his best, to that, it's hard to turn back the hands of time. But if somehow we can bring in those type of cuts, I think he'd be super dangerous to go up against with anyone. A lot of these guys improved, so it's going to be critical for everyone. Here's the thing, though: when he's in shape and looks great, he's still 7 pounds over or something like that, or whatever. So yeah, so it's to take full advantage of your attributes, that's really tough.
That explains something, because I've seen Breon at the Arnold Classic, and at the judging, I'll be honest, I'm unimpressed. And then that's obviously because he's probably just made weight. And then the night show, it's like complete night and day difference. He looks incredible. He fills out. He fills out.
Not a lot of time.
Yeah.
And when you get to a certain, I think he's just at that sweet spot of his height with what they're demanding. I don't know how that works, or I don't know how you come up with a number. I really don't know how you come up with a number for this height. I don't know how it works.
Well, he doesn't look. He doesn't look that much bigger than. I mean, he doesn't look like thicker than, say, Robert Timms, who's an absolute beast.
Well, yeah,
he's huge.
Robert Timms is what, 6 feet tall?
Yeah, but he's got. It's supposed to be relative to their height and their weight, the way it's worked out. I mean, Robert Timms looks twice as thick.
Some people it works out okay, but some people in that sweet spot where you just cannot.
Yeah.
It's just hard to show your best at that height with what you're asked to do just before the show.
So going back to the Open of the Olympia, who are you most excited to see? Whether it be like a Nick Walker or Ian Valier, Justin Rodriguez, who are you most excited to see?
I think Nick is doing the most he could do with his body. He's a lot of people talk about the waist being not as not very small waisted, but he has a lot of muscle and he trains year round.
Yeah.
Pretty hard. So I just think if you make that much of an improvement in your density and your it's also he needs to work on a little bit of posing. Mm-hmm. So if his posing gets better along that, he can give anyone a run for the money, because with the champion being as big as he is, that can help him in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. That can help him in a way. So, and as you know, if you just have in a very impressive look, judges look at that. It catches judges' eyes also. So yeah, it's gonna be that. I don't know, man. I just I want to see a very highly anticipated show come to life, and not just from the Instagram and different angles and shit.
Yeah.
From the Instagram, that's just this is the time where a lot of people coming in hopefully great condition. I don't know what's going to happen with what they're going to look for in the criteria due to a lot of unhealthy coaching going on, but I'm still looking forward to seeing a very good bodybuilding show.
Yeah, well, hopefully we have a good Olympia and everyone's kind of okay, and because it's like it is quite unsettling when things like this happen, to the sport. It kind of raises a lot of conversations, I think, that need to be made to maybe see, okay, how can we avoid this moving forward,
Yeah, I hope so.
Cool.
Because I went through that period of time where they were where we started testing for diuretics. So I did a few of those shows without anything whatsoever. But as you know, this sport breeds a lot of people always trying to cut corners, always trying to get the upper hand, or something different from that's just the nature of the beast. But that's something we got to pay close attention to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right then,
No,
Chris.
I'm in the gym. I'm in the grimy gyms and the grimy posing rooms. So everyone see where I do my work. That's where I do most of my work right there. So I think that's just the safest way is the hardest way, and it sucks a lot to train like that and to be in that type of pressure. But I think that's the type of the looks that I like to tend to go for.
Cool.
Beat it up.
Yep, totally agree, mate. Totally agree. Right, Chris. Also, I want to get you. I want to get you on again in a couple of weeks with Zach Khan. I think we'd have a bit of a. Sure. I think we'd have a lot of fun. The three of us, kind of just going for it. I think it'd be quite funny.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
All right, Chris, and I hope everything's going well for you, mate. And look forward to speaking to you again with ZKK in a few weeks.
For sure, man.
Right,
Classic's gonna be awesome. Look for these guys coming in hot from this camp.
Yep. Oh, yep. Camp Cormier. Camp Cormier.
That's right.
Oh, fantastic.
Coming in.
Fantastic.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot for calling. I look forward to seeing you soon, then. Right.
Thanks, Chris. I really appreciate it, mate.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Take care, my man.
Bye-bye. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. I'm joined all the way from Poland, Figure Pro, Anna Banks.
Hi, Joes. Hi, guys.
Anna, how are you? I haven't spoken to you for ages.
I'm good. Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm really good, really good. Right, okay, the last time we spoke face-to-face was in Columbus, Ohio last year, wasn't it?
That's right. It feels like ages. It feels like 2 years, but it's actually, I think, 1 year.
Do you know what? It's funny because I was talking to Missy Truscott last week, and it's like she's still the current Arnold Classic champion. And like you said, it feels so long ago now, doesn't it?
Yes, I feel like it's been like 2 or 2.5 years ago, and it's only last year.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, the story was, what it was, we were going down to, myself and Hector Mendoza, the MD videographer, we decided we had a few hours to kill, so we thought we'd go to Powerhouse Gym in downtown Columbus. Mm-hmm. And I thought we'll see if we can grab a few, see a few people and, a few pros, and we'll grab some interviews. And we bumped into you and your coach, Norbert Phoenix, wasn't it?
That's right, Norbert Phoenix, yes.
Yeah, so, and that was the year you got, what did you get in the Arnold Classic? Was it fourth?
Top 5. I placed fifth.
Fifth place, yeah.
So that was my first Arnold. I was so happy.
And do you know what? You didn't look very happy after, because I saw you sat in the audience, and you looked really. And I was like, you've just made top 5 at the Arnold, Anna.
Nah, that was such a big deal. It was my first Arnold and experience. Even though it was no audience that year, it was such an amazing experience. I was like buzzing. I was like, yes, it was great show.
That was your first Arnold?
My first Arnold, yes.
Okay. So, I mean, you're currently in Poland, but you actually, I mean, I'm ashamed to, you're actually in the UK, and we've never actually been to see you. So how long have you been living in the UK for?
Over 10 years, since 2006.
2006?
So, yeah.
Wow.
So quite a long time, yes. I've been living in Brighton, then I moved to London, and then Liverpool, and so, yeah. Liverpool at the moment.
You're in Poland now, and you're originally from Poland. So what made you move to the UK?
I finished my college, and everybody was going to uni, and I was not sure what I want to do. Like a lot of people are, we're not sure what we're going to do, but we're just going to go and do some study or some course that they're not even interested in. And I was sitting there and I was like, I'm not sure what I want to do yet. So I thought, you know what, let me go abroad, explore, have like 3 months to think about it. So I thought I had some friends in the UK, so I thought I'm going to come to the UK for the summertime. And then from 3 months, after 3 months, I decided, you know what, I will stay for 1 year. Mm-hmm. And after 1 year, like 10 years down the line, and I'm still here. So, yes. So
you literally came over to study and you ended up just staying for good?
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure. I meant to study in Poland, but I wasn't sure what to study there. So I thought I would take a little break to decide what I want to do and what do I want to study. So I came for a little break, summer break to UK, mm-hmm. and I just liked it. And then I started, I did some courses in UK. So I didn't plan to stay, but I'm here 12 years or 13 years after.
What did you study?
I did cosmetology before, makeup and cosmetology, yeah.
Okay. I thought you said cosmetology then. I was like, what?
No.
Like astrology. I was like, okay, you can study that.
No.
Yeah. So, I mean, you said you lived in Brighton, but now you live in Liverpool.
Liverpool, that's right.
What made you move there?
Brighton was 3 years. I think after that, I moved to London. I thought I was like tired with Brighton. I thought, you know what, I want to go to capital, see what London is all about. I was there for 7 years, and then I had enough of London again. I mean, traffic, and I spent most of my time in traffic. And London, it was just became like too much. And then so I was thinking, okay, I still want to stay in UK, but I would like to be somewhere that is more like smaller place, but still cool, accessible to flight everywhere. So me and husband looked for the place. We came to Liverpool for the weekend.
Oh, wow.
And people were so nice here. And we're like, you know what, actually, we could actually just move here. So we looked for the house. We put deposit down and we thought, that's it, we're doing it. So we moved to Liverpool, literally 5 minutes from the airport, so I can fly in and out to Poland and anywhere I need to be. So I like the place. It's very good.
Well, Carleen was at Nathan Diash's Prophecy Performance Centre the other week, and he was like, he said, guess what? I just bumped into Anna Banks. So is that?
I know, and I did not recognize him. I'm so sorry, Carleen. I was like, I know him from somewhere, but like, you know, when you like know people from social media,
yeah,
I can just, I know them, but then I can't put the face to the name. And then later on, I was like, oh crap, it was Kaleem. I was like, no.
Well, I think make a note. We're going to need to get.
So wired from pre-workout.
You were so wired from pre-workout. You didn't even introduce yourself. Okay.
Don't worry, I was prepping for Alicante, and I was like in like zombie mode, so it's all good.
Yeah, make a note. We need to get some Global Muscle clothing with your name on, Carleen. Okay, so you just go in with a big your name on the back or something, and then people go, oh, it's Carleen.
That's me. I'm Kaleem.
So is that where you train at Nathan Diash's?
That's right.
All the time.
All the time. I have so much. I'm so like accidentally. Literally, the gym is 4 or 5 minutes drive from my house. So I'm so lucky. Yeah, so lucky to be able to train there. I love this place so much. I mean, once you go there and you like train with the equipment that they have. So now everywhere I travel and I go to different gym, I'm like, but it's not Prophecy, you know.
Were you one of the ones that was allowed to sneak in and train during the pandemic? Cut. Yeah, no, that was really. I think we all felt for Nathan with that one. I mean, that was because he really stood his ground. He's like, you know, people are going to be able to train for their mental health and all that. I mean, what's your take on that whole situation? What was that like being in the midst of that?
Do you know, it's been madness because in the beginning when actually all gyms closed down, I thought it's only gonna be for like maybe 3-4 weeks. I didn't take it serious at all.
Yeah. So
the first lockdown, I was like, okay, come on. So I started training at home because actually everyone was shut. We didn't train at the gym, so I was training up to I think 10 weeks at home, and then I thought that's enough. I can't deal with that anymore. Like I need to get out. But it was so difficult to get out of UK to Poland at the time. Literally, there was no flights. I couldn't move. So after 10 weeks, I was like, I don't care if I have to swim to Poland or cycle. I need to get there. Yeah. So after that, I went to Poland. I stayed there for a while, and then I actually traveled the whole pandemic because I went to America. I did a few shows in America last year. So I actually haven't been in UK nearly the whole last year, all the pandemic. I came back after last Olympia in I think January, and it was all drama going on with second lockdown, and Prophecy was, well, we was able to train in Prophecy for a while, but then we had issue with the police and it was a big drama going on. It was actually horrible. You know, we were sneaking into the gym and then you felt like you're doing something really, really wrong. Yeah. Like it was like, I don't know, like you killed somebody. We had to run away and hide, and it was horrible. Let's hope no another lockdown so we don't go through it again.
Yeah, I mean, we had Nathan on, and we wanted to support him, and it was very distressing seeing that clip with the police, and and it was like this. It was. I mean, fair play to him for really standing his ground for something that he really, really believed in.
Yes, that's right. I was actually training day before, and that happened on Sunday, and Sunday was my only day off, so actually I could have been there.
Oh,
yeah. So when I watched the camera, what happened? I was just like, wow, seriously, like my heart was pumping. I was so upset,
You know, you go into the gym to do legs, and next thing you're being chased by police with batons. You know, it's kind of like, I understand it's a situation that the police have to respond to, but I mean, it must have been. I mean, like I said, my heart goes out to all the people that were involved with that, because it was just a horrible situation that nobody wanted.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and tell you what, I mean, I can understand a bikini competitor being able to get by with training at home, you know, if you unless you've got a really well-equipped gym, but for like a figure competitor to be able to train at home, that, I mean, how did you manage that?
I had some equipment from before.
Yeah.
So I did out some dumbbells and bars, and I got some mini gym as well. I mean, actually, when the lockdown happened, you couldn't get anything online. Everything was sold out, or it was ridiculous prices.
Yeah.
Literally, dumbbell for like £250. Somebody was selling some old dumbbells from garage for like 300 quid. I was like, really, people?
Bastards! You just thought, come on, guys, don't exploit a shit situation here. This is that's really. I know. I really like those people. I just thought, you know, karma's going to get you guys.
Oh, so that was crazy. So I collected everything I had. I rented some stuff from Prophecy from the gym.
Oh, okay.
And I managed for up to 10 weeks somehow. It wasn't like great improvement, but at least I like kind of managed to keep what I've got. Yeah. And then after that, I was like, no, that's it. I'm off to Poland. Even though Poland was in the lockdown, I was able to train in the gym there. So that was good. And then I was traveling, so I was training normally. So.
Okay. We'll come to Alicante in a little bit, but can you give us a little bit of back history on your contest history?
Okay. So I got my pro card in 2017 in San Marino. Oh. That was actually first ever show after the split with IFBB and NPC.
Hang on. I was at that one.
Oh, were you really?
I was there when Cedric won. I was there at the pro, but I got there on the day of the amateur, so I was traveling, and then I was there for the pro. MD sent me just for the pro. So that's where you turned pro? I didn't know that.
That's right, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I turned pro there. Actually, that was my rookie figure year, because I did bikini first. And then I did figure in UK. That was UK BFF. I did like pro qualifier for British champion. Yeah. And then I did British championship, which I won. And then split happened between IFBB and NPC. And it was 4 weeks to San Marino. And me and coach were like, Anna, what are we doing? I was like, let's go for it. Let's see what happens. Yeah. So we went San Marino and we got a pro card. So that was like kind of new thing as well, because like it was our first show. So that was crazy.
So hang on, I was at that 2017 British Championships as well. I can't believe this. That was the one that Ria got third. Yeah.
Actually,
she got
no,
third.
That wasn't. She was doing Veronica Galeo, right? I think.
No, the British Championships.
Oh yes.
Ria was third, and you won. I saw that. I've actually got footage on my phone.
Really? Yeah. I think Ria was different because it was still different height. Oh, okay, she's shorter than me, so she was in different category because we had the heights. Yeah. So yeah, but Ria was there on that show. That's how I met Ria and Barbara as well. I don't know if you know Barbara. Yeah.
Barbara Kiss.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic. Right,
yeah,
okay.
That's how we know each other from there. So 2017 British Championship.
I'm going to go check my phone after we finish filming. I'm going to check the footage because I've probably got the footage of you winning. I was up on the top balcony filming downwards. So
crazy.
Yeah, so 2017 you did San Marino and you turned pro there.
That's right. And then next day was a pro show. So we just went out. I was like, let's test the water. I knew I'm very far away from pro girls. I knew I had to build. I was quite small. Yeah. But I wanted to see how I stand, where I stand. So I did pro show next day, and I did top 10.
Okay. Good.
But we knew automatically we're taking a year off to build and to improve. So when we come out, we kind of fit the pro level. Yeah. So I did whole year off, and I prepped for Romania 2018. Muscle Fest, and I placed third there. Wow. Top 3, which was like amazing because it was like a lot of like the top 3 was like girls that have been competing for a very long time. Yes. Like Martina Yebekova was there, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna stand with this legend on the stage. So I was so happy. Like top 3 for me it was very, very good results. After that we did Toronto, which I placed second again. Okay. which was actually I was happy so much. Like I was still so happy because it's different to compete in Europe and it's different to compete in America or Canada. So I just wanted to see, okay, let's go and see how I fit in a different country, different judges, different competitors. So we went to Toronto and I placed second again. After Toronto, I did Vancouver, which I won.
Wow.
Yeah. That was such a great show. My first win. After that, I did Portugal, placed second. Then Kai Green, I won again.
Mm-hmm. So that's 2 wins so far.
So that's 2 wins so far.
Wow. Okay.
And two silvers and 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Then following year I did, and then I qualified obviously for Olympia. So I did my first Olympia.
2018.
2018.
Yeah.
2019.
2019. Okay.
2019. After Olympia, I did Arnold, which I placed top 5. And after Arnold, I did Savannah in New York. Savannah, I placed 4th. In New York, I placed 2nd again. And after that, we did Olympia again. Yeah. And after that, we did Alicante.
Hang on. You've just completely skipped over the Olympia there. You got a great placing at the Olympia.
Sorry,
you can't just skip over something as big as the Olympia. Too excited about Alicante.
No, I mean, Olympia was, 2 Olympias. They were like totally different experience for me, but they were both amazing. So first Olympia went like blur for me. Like I feel like it was something new. I was kind of also stressed. I was so excited and so happy to go there. It's like achievement on its own to qualify. But I feel like I stressed so much that it went just like this.
Right.
And I was like, oh wow, what happened there? But the second Olympia, I really, really took my time to process everything. And, I was like, I'm going so chilled. Of course, I will prep my best, do my best, try to bring the best package I can. But I also want to have fun on stage and make sure I record everything, like every moment. So I did that and I enjoyed it so much last year. Yeah. And
you placed?
10th. I made it to top 10 last year, yes.
That's fantastic. Top 10 at the Olympia. So, you've turned pro in 2017 and you've done a lot. You've had 2 wins. You've done 2 Olympias. You've done an Arnold Classic in top 5. You've really not wasted any time, have you? You've just kind of gone for it.
No, I did not waste time. I've been, since I got my pro card, I'm like this working 24/7. Yeah. I've done actually like 9 pro shows. Plus Arnold in 2 Olympias. I won 3 of them, 3 times second. So it's crazy. I'm happy, with the results.
Then we came to Alicante. I was doing the live stream commentary. I was there, obviously, and I saw your name on the list. And I actually, I think when we did the preview, I'm not sure. I'll have to go and check. I'm sure I would have put you as one of the favourites because obviously, in the predictions and stuff. And I said, well, if she turns up looking anything like she normally does, she's probably the favourite on paper to win.
Do you know what? When you guys sit and say, you look on paper and say, on paper, this person, this is so nice. On one side, this is so nice to hear it. Like, oh, wow, they actually think, I'm able to win it or, But on the other side, it puts so much pressure on us. We're like, good. Oh, no. This is bodybuilding. Anything can happen, anything can go wrong. Yeah. And so it's a lot of pressure, but...
And you look fantastic in Alicante, but I've seen you in better condition, so that tells you in a contest that tough where top 2 are going to the Olympia. I think you were probably at 90% condition. Like that's the fact that you still won in a show that tough is, I think that must be a confidence builder for the Olympia.
This Alicante, Alicante wasn't even on my radar this year. I was planning to do completely different shows. I was planning to do Chicago and Tampa and maybe one more show around it.
Yeah.
But I had a problem with my American visa this year, so I'm still sorting that out. So Alicante was the only option for me for this season to qualify for Olympia. So it was like kind of one shot for me. The prep was quite difficult because everything on this prep was completely different to what I normally do and what we normally do. Everything went upside down, and sometimes it's like not everything goes your way.
In what way? In what way?
In generally on the prep, like last weeks of the prep, the normal things that I would usually do, but everything was just different. The food had to be different. Everything had to be changed. So it was quite like I had a lot of quite surprises. My body was responding completely different to different things than I usually would do. So we had to mix things up. But I think what happens is like your mindset have to be 100%. Even if you don't feel like, as you said, I wasn't 100% in Alicante. My condition was like 90%. Mm-hmm. But even if you, I don't know, not happy, or even if you're not 100% with your form, your mindset has to be 100%. And the Alicante win just proved that to me. Yeah. Because even if you're scared, or you're not sure, or you're not confident inside, or you think, oh, you know, I'm not 100% or whatever, you can't let that show, especially on stage. When you come out on that stage, literally it's like you have to be an actress. So it's like just you have to put that switch on, and you know what, go on, be confident, do your thing, and you know, anything can happen. And on the day, that was enough on this competition. So that was a tough prep for me, but I'm so happy that I won it.
I mean, if you go into a big show and it's one of the last qualifiers and you're not feeling at 100% and then you win, I mean, surely at the end of the day, you're feeling a lot better than you were at the start of it.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know, I was actually like also really ill, like 2 days out, and 1 day out I felt really ill. So after the win, I was just like, yes. And suddenly, like I was still like getting better after the show, but I just the emotions and the happiness was crazy. It was something special.
There was a few people not feeling well. I know I spoke to Rob Taylor, and he was saying that because he said he was about 10 pounds under what he would normally be, because he had some dodgy salmon or something, and you know. And he's also, what did you think of the venue and the whole production of that event by Mila Martinez?
Sorry?
What did you think of the entire like production, the venue, and the flames and the lasers and all that? What do you think of that?
Do you know what? I absolutely loved it. It's like the stage. But I'll tell you something. In Rio, the stage looked amazing. Like when even I went after to watch bodybuilding and stuff, it looked like wow. But unfortunately, on the live stream, it looks really dark.
Yes,
it looked really dark. So people said like, "Oh, it was so dark, we can't see you." And the pictures, I said, "But trust me, in real life, it looked amazing. You could see literally everything." So the whole venue was just like wow for me.
Yeah,
great.
And I mean, if you saw Jonathan Morio shots, those photos, because he's the photographer. The guy with the glasses, you know, and the flicky hair. Yeah, I mean, he did some really good shots, because the thing is, if you like, I've seen people taking screen grabs of the live stream, and you're like there was the guy won the 212, the Vlad guy, and I was just like, if that's all he's got to show for it, it's a bit shit, you know. So I was like, oh no, but at least Jonathan Morio was there to get really good quality photos, and he's posted loads, and you can really see what was going on with you and with Ruli and Nathan and all these competitors. So so obviously, what's the plans now then? You're obviously trying to get your visa sorted to get to America, to get to the Olympia?
That's right, yes. Unfortunately, my visa expired in the beginning of this year. So I just thought I'm just going to send it off. They're going to renew it. I've got athlete visa. So I thought they're going to just renew it. Then, you know, I'm going to fly to Chicago, Tampa, you know, if I qualify Olympia. But unfortunately, I've been now trying to sort out 5 months because of Corona. They don't want to issue, or they don't want to renew any visa until American borders officially open. Okay. So they say until they're gonna officially open America, we can't issue any visas. I called them. I tried to apply for a special visa. They said, I'm sorry, you do not qualify.
Oh, no.
So I've tried so many things, like Belfast, London. I'm currently in Poland trying to do that in Krakow. And I've got literally, this is my last chance. So I have 10 days for them to decide if they're gonna renew it or not. So yes, I'm biting my fingers right now. So we'll see. Did
I hear you say athlete visa? Is that different to an ESTA?
That's right. Yeah. I mean, officially, if you look at it, officially, you're not allowed to compete on ESTA. But I know athletes doing it. But I had the issue before when I was traveling to America on my ESTA, and I was competing, and I went through so much drama in Philadelphia. I said after that, they treated me like criminal, and they sent me back home. And after that, I will never fly to America. But it was such a horrible experience. Like I said, please don't let me go through that again. I will never fly to Philadelphia again in my life. But after that, I had to apply for the visa, for the athlete's visa, which I did receive.
Okay.
And I had it for the last 2 years with no problems. It's just like they only give me for a year, so which expired in March. So unfortunately.
So it's kind of like sitting tight and kind of hoping for the best right now.
That's right. I'm not losing my hope, but I'm also not holding my breath for it, because like literally looking at it now, it's like 90% is not going to happen, but I still have that 10% in me.
Yeah.
But I am still prepping. I'm still, not giving up. There is also pro show in Poland in a couple of weeks.
I was just about to mention that.
That I might do, but I didn't decide 100% yet. So we will see.
So just say worst case scenario, you can't get to the Olympia. There's always, is there figure at the Prague and the Romania? There's Romania, there will be. So there's a few shows in Europe that you could do. San Marino?
Yes, there is definitely, I know there's Prague. I know there is Romania. I think there's also Hungary Fit Parade. I'm not sure. I think they added figure, but I'm not sure. I didn't look that far, but I know there is pro show in Poland in 2 weeks, and 90% I would do it. I mean, Poland is so like special, close to my heart. Like since I've been competing, I started competing actually in Poland as bikini, but I never had the chance to compete as figure.
Yeah.
Because when I got my pro card in 2017, there was no show. So since then, I wasn't able to step on Polish stage. So when I saw there's going to be Polish show, I was like, So, and my family as well. When my mom and my sister was like, oh my God, pro show in Poland, you have to be there. They're like,
it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
So yes, I have a tough decision to make. And if Olympia is not going to happen, then I would know probably by the end of next week. So I would decide I'll probably do Poland.
What about the is there figure at the Arnold UK?
No, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
No, if that was, then I would definitely do that. But unfortunately, no. There's no figure even in Arnold, Ohio this year. They're doing that before Olympia, so there's no figure. Right.
Okay. And let's talk about your coach, Robert Fenix. You said you've been working with him for 5 years now.
Yes.
Team Fenix. Tell us about that.
No, but yes, we've been working together since the beginning. And actually, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, I feel so lucky that I bumped into him like from the beginning. Yeah. Because you can hear a lot of stories and a lot of like bad things about coaching and the girls and the guys, they have to switch coaches but I feel like I went into the right hands from the beginning. I feel like we have like both trust for each other, mutual respect. We are kind of work as a team now because we've been working for so long. Like the beginning was a bit different. I was like new to this, but now we kind of work as a team. Yeah. So he listens to exactly what I've got to say. He's like, Banksy, you there, you see yourself, you feel yourself. Talk to me, and then I talk to him, he talks back to me, and it's like kind of teamwork. So it's been so good working with him.
Didn't I see him on stage last week in Poland?
Him, yes, he was competing in Poland. Yes. He got second and third. Great.
That's so cool. So, so really, I just wanted to get you on really to kind of just get an update. And fingers crossed you can get to the Olympia.
Thank you so much.
It's just, I still don't know whether I'm going. I'm MD still kind of like, okay, we're looking into it. We're looking at this, looking at that. And I'm like, guys, like I'm kind of expecting not to go. So if I do, then it's going to be a lovely, lovely surprise. But don't stress if you can't get me there, But, and obviously, it's just the situation we're in a year on. Come on, it's... Are
you going to have to go on quarantine somewhere then if you're going to go, or can you fly straight away to America?
I'm not going to be away. I don't want to be away from home for 3 weeks. It's just, it's just too many. I'm doing too many things. It's just not sort of practical for me to do that, so
let's just hope next year everything goes back to normal and we can fly straight to America.
Fingers crossed.
That would be something that I feel like we haven't been able to travel freely for so long, but hopefully next year will be a bit back to normal. So
Yeah. And I love all the photo shoots you're doing as well. It's nice to see athletes on their social media doing professional photo shoots rather than, phone stuff and just in the gym, which is great. But I like the fact that you've actually gone and organized proper professional photo shoots and you released those images. I think that really, it's a much more professional image for you as an athlete.
Oh, thank you so much. I feel like I'm so crap with Instagram. Because I'm so not consistent. I'm like, sometimes I post like 2-3 times a week, and sometimes I just disappear for like a whole month. Like, I'm really so bad with Instagram. I need to improve. But I like, when I'm working, I'm busy with other stuff, I completely forget about Instagram, and sometimes I just don't go for it for days, and then I go and I'm like, I have like DMs and this, like, oh, are you alive? I'm like, yeah, I am. I'm still there. I'm working, I'm busy, I'm still, sometimes people message me and say, are you still training? I'm like, of course I am, come on. But the thing is, like, every time I train, I just completely, my phone is so away. I just put my headphones in and I train. I just, like, when I record, I don't feel like, oh, I have time to record. It bothers me. If somebody records me, like, whatever, I don't see it, it's fine. But for me to set up the camera, to record something, I'm like, no, I don't have time for this. I just need to train. I'm like this. So, I'm not really, I need to improve on that. But
also, just say you can't get to the Olympia or whatever reason, or for any reason you come back to the UK, send me a DM, and myself and Carleen want to come, because if you're training at Nathan's and Nathan's there as well, we can do some filming for MD and whatever for Carleen's new production company. So if you want to, just let us know, and if we can arrange something, because it's like we're like an hour and a quarter. Yeah, it's less. It's like an hour drive, and we can train as well, because I like training at Nathan's. I've trained there a couple of times. Is that a lie? I think that's a lie. I think I've just lied. I don't think I've ever trained at Nathan's. What am I talking about? I think I've gone there. And I've thought I really need to come back here and train. I'm going to go talk to Nathan. But so if we could do that, I mean, we're more than happy to come and and get some proper, really good good quality footage and content, and and like I said, keep the publicity going, because us Europeans have to stick together.
Yes, that's great. Yeah, that would be great. Cool.
All right then. Well, like I said, fingers crossed for the Olympia. Hopefully you can go and improve on that 10th place, because I said you look fantastic at Alicante, and just like I said, a little bit sharper, and I could see you being top 6 Olympia.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on your show. Thank you so much.
It's our pleasure. And like I said, congratulations on your 3rd win, in Alicante.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
And thanks for proving me right, because when I saw you on paper, and then when you win, I kind of feel good about that, so it looks a bit, if you go and get like 16th or something, I'm like, oh shit.
Let's not do that.
Yeah. Well, like I said, just stay on prep. Do what Hadi did those last couple of years when he thought he couldn't get to America. Just stay on prep, keep working. And even if you can't get to the Olympia, there's Poland, and there's potentially Romania and some other shows.
And there is another Olympia.
Yes, there's more. The Olympia's not going anywhere. It's going to be the next year and every year after. So
yes, that's the spirit.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit. Right. Okay, Anna. Thank you so much for coming on MD Glow Muscle. And like I said, all the best for the next few weeks.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Anna. Bye-bye. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas, and we're joined all the way from Las Vegas, Austin Karr.
Thank you, guys. Proud to be here. I've seen the show, and I'm a fan.
Oh, stop.
I'm a fan.
Austin, right, okay, I'm going to go right to the start. The first time I heard about you is myself and Ron were doing a preview for the Chicago Pro last year.
Yes,
and we were all talking about key on this, key on that, and and there was a few other names we brought up. And then Ron said, no, there's another guy. He says he's got incredible legs and he looks like Kevin Navrone. And I remember actually looking at a picture and thinking, I remember, because you've got very distinguishable legs.
Right.
So
yeah, I've been known for my quads, and Ron saw my quads at the 2017 USAs, and I messed around with the Classic for the first time, and Ron's like, no, you got to go to bodybuilding, because he said your legs are just ridiculous. They don't even look right in those Classic shorts. So that was actually my first national show on stage.
Oh, well, thank God you didn't do men's physique, because you can't hide them quads, mate.
No, I would never. I never thought about men's physique. Just I like Classic because I like the lines, because with my aesthetics. But no, I'm not into the. I like more of a bodybuilder, the mass, and the size, putting on muscle every year. And Classic, you got to stay lean you can't get too big. So that's not my forte.
Preaching to the choir here, mate. Preaching to the choir. So are you originally from Las Vegas? I'm taking you on.
I'm actually born and raised.
Really?
Giles. Yeah, it's kind of not really. I mean, it's Vegas. It's I don't know. I've been here my whole life, so it's not really like exciting for me. But people love Vegas, and it's just, been here for 30 years, so it's the same old. So
what's it? Because obviously, I mean, I've been to Vegas many times, but obviously there's areas which are not as commercial, and obviously that's where you're from, or.
So if you go to the north part of Las Vegas, I'm way out in the mountains. It's 30 minutes from the Strip, but I've lived everywhere in Vegas, and I'm only 25 minutes from like the Dragon's Lair with Flex Lewis and the Raiders stadium's right there. So I mean, everything in Vegas is just one freeway. You take it right south, and everything's right there. The Strip, you got the gyms, everything. So, but I like kind of being tucked up in the north. It's like horse properties and the mountains and everything. So
I mean, the Olympia aside, obviously with it being, the home from 99 till 2019, what has happened in the last year with all the bodybuilders now? Because I remember like Sean Ray had an apartment there in the 90s and the early 2000s. Jay Cutler moved, I think 2002, 2003. But in the last year, something's happened, doesn't it, in Vegas?
I think with the COVID, they messed up everything for California. And I think everybody started coming here because they said, hey, it's not as strict as California. So you got all the people from Venice Beach and the Mecca coming here. And then Flex Lewis obviously opened up Dragon's Lair. So we got a lot of Californians, and a lot of people from the East Coast are coming out here too. I think it's just cheaper, and with all the deaths in New York and all that stuff, I think they were coming out here because they thought it was a lot safer on this side of the state. So we've got a lot of influx of new bodybuilders, good bodybuilders too. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely inspiring, because I was like not seeing a lot of guys out here that are really good. And then, trying to be, you got to be around people that motivate you. So, I don't like to be the only guy in the gym that's doing bodybuilding shows that's actually a pro. So now you have, Sean Roden, Flex Lewis, Stanimal, guys like that, Anu Gwyn. I mean, everybody's in the gym training hard, so it's definitely motivating. And plus, being around Flex Lewis, that's like the epitome of like 212 right there. So he's like an idol for us. So I mean, cool.
Really, like, I mean, California now has been completely. I think probably at least 10 years ago, the whole bodybuilding mecca idea of California being the hub and the center of bodybuilding. I think even more than 10 years ago, it started to die off, and it started to go more commercial, and lunk alarms in gyms, and bodybuilders not being welcome. The pictures of the greats being taken down. And then but the last year, and obviously there was a Q8 thing, but now it all seems to be like I know, because obviously I'm good friends with Flex Lewis. I've known him for many, many years. We're both from Wales. And it's like, I know Flex loves bodybuilding, and he told me when he was creating the Dragon's Lair 2, he said, like, I want to create an environment that is like supportive and not just, doesn't just sort of like tolerate bodybuilders, but welcomes them, Sorry, Austin, we had a bit of a connection problem there, so we just called you back. So I was saying about Flex Lewis saying that he wants to create an environment, that it doesn't just, like I said, tolerate bodybuilders, but really welcomes and actually can nurture that talent.
Muabsolutely. And he's brought, when he opened up the Dragon's Lair, we had Rafael Brandeo down there, Hassan Mustafa's there all the time. And we have a lot of people that will come to Vegas to train with Flex that are pros. Wow. I mean, he pretty much opens the door, and I think Flex wants to make pros get better by having them to come to the Dragon's Lair, and he trains with them, and he tries to, like, I think he mentors a lot of younger guys too in the sport coming up that he sees with potential. And he's just like an all around, motivational mentor when you're around him, because he's been there and done that, and he knows, and he sees bodybuilders all the time. So he kind of gives you advice and, how to get your career going. And he loves to train, and he just brings a good aura to the city. It's great. It's
good energy. Yeah. Cause I mean, cause I remember back in 2016, I was over for the Olympia, and my partner at the time, everyone was training at is it City Bay?
Oh, City Athletics.
City Athletic.
Athletic Club, yeah.
And then it shut, didn't it?
Yeah, that one shut down in 2019, I want to say.
Right.
So, I mean, that was like the mecca. Remember, it was like all the photo shoots. Rami was there. I think that's when Phil Heath won his last title, and he did his photo shoots there. But they had the crazy, remember the crazy lighting with the, it was like club lighting, like the LED lights.
Austin, I was there. I was training myself. And I looked around. Behind me was Chris Cormier training Victor Martinez. I looked 2:00, and there was Sean Roden being trained by Charles Glass. To the left, there was Hide and Iris training with somebody else. I forget who. And then I looked over, and Rami stole my rear delt machine. So that's why I've got small rear delts, because of Rami. So, but, and it was, and Ashkenani was there, and it was just like, I remember looking around thinking, this is surreal.
Yeah, that was like I think that was like the mecca, but it wasn't when they were coming here to go to the Olympia. You know, they didn't live here, but now you're getting more people residing here, and it's becoming more of like a Venice Beach type of vibe. And I think because Vegas is so cheap, so the properties are cheap, and, you know, with all the gyms opening up, everybody's like, why not? You know, it's going to be, I think the Olympia eventually is going to come back.
It will.
And then we're going to have everything back here. So it's going to be like the mecca, to be honest.
Yeah. So you've gone from having like probably a lesser choice of gyms to now, because you've obviously got Iris and Hide's Powerhouse gym that's just opened. So you're really spoiled, aren't you?
Yeah, they just opened up the Powerhouse. It's kind of this central Las Vegas in the middle. But then you got the Lift Factory, which is in the north. You got Dragon's Lair in the south. And then there's a bunch of other gyms too, like Fit Club. But there's so many gyms now, Giles. Like, you can literally pick and choose what machines you want to go to and the environment you want to go to for that day and film. And it's great. I mean, Vegas never had that. So it's got a lot more variety.
Where do you like to train legs then?
Legs, I would go to Dragons because
I knew it. Yeah. Well, that's obvious, duh.
They have the Arsenal equipment. Yeah. And I don't know if you know the Arsenal equipment. It feels like 1,000 pounds, and it's only like 200 pounds, but it feels great because you can load it. You don't have to load it up that high, and you get a really good training sessions there. And everybody that trains there, they go pretty heavy. So it's like you're gonna go in there and train pretty good. So it's not like, 24-hour fitness or something like that. So.
Yeah. So have you trained with any of the obviously the other top pros?
You know what? And that's funny. I talked to Jay Cutler the other day, and he said, I told him,
talking to Jay Cutler today.
No, I've seen him all the time. So
yeah. It's cool.
I told him, he told me when I was coming up in the sport, I trained by myself. And I told Jay, I said, yeah, but I think for me, I need a training partner. Like I see these guys like Brett Wilkins and his training partner, Martin, they push each other hard in the gym. And if you're by yourself and you're not Jay Cutler genetics, you need somebody pushing you to the limits every day, training with the sets and going past failure, stuff like that. So, I'm definitely looking for a training partner out here. I need somebody that's going to like push me to the next level because, you can get it done by yourself, but it's not going to be the same with somebody screaming at you. What
I think you and Hassan Mustafa would be good training partners.
Yeah, he's hard to talk to because he doesn't speak English. It's very it's like really slow and
okay.
He's always traveling lately because he's been doing so many shows. But he's definitely he's put on some size, man. Like since the last show in Texas, what we did, he looks like 30 pounds bigger, and he's really strong. Yeah, I don't know what I have never seen somebody grow throughout the year in a prep and continuously diet and grow and get bigger. It's crazy.
Yeah. So let's go back to, so when did you turn pro, Austin?
I was pro 2018 at North Americans. So they just had North Americans this weekend, and that's when I went pro 3 years ago. So not too long ago.
What division?
Light heavyweights.
So you turned pro. You turned pro as a bodybuilder then?
Oh yeah.
Oh good.
Yeah, I did the classic physique that 1 year, and honestly, I did it. I was natural. I didn't do anything silly, and everybody was like, no, you're you're definitely a bodybuilder. And it was just for fun to try to see what I'd look like. But bodybuilding was my passion. So
obviously, like you popped up on my radar when you took second to Keown at the 2020 Chicago, and I was like, because I was like, Ron was like, he was like, watch out for this guy, he's really good. And then I started watching you on social media. A few accounts were bringing some stuff of you, and I was like, yeah, he's bloody. I recognized. I was like, oh yeah, he's really good, this guy. And then so was that your first pro show?
No, I did Tampa Pro the year before with it was a good lineup. It was John Jewett won it. Guy Cisterino was in it when he was I think he was younger and healthier because he just retired. And then I had Zane Watson. So I think I got third or fourth. That was my pro debut.
Wow. Okay. That's good.
And it was like 26 guys. I mean, there was a lot of good guys in there. That one kid, Dwayne Walker, that went to the Open.
Yeah.
He did that show. A lot of Derek Oslin. There was a lot of guys in that show. It was a heavy stacked up lineup. And, I thought I was going to come in and win that show, but I just needed more size and time, just being a brand new pro. And John Jewett, I think, had been competing for a couple of years already. So he had some time under his belt as a pro. So,
well, John got fourth at the Olympia that year. So that was someone that ended up being top 5 at the Olympia.
That was his, honestly, I tell him, I even told him, I said, I think that was the biggest he was and his most conditioned. I think he was conditioned this year, but I think that was his biggest look when he got fourth at the Olympia.
Well, he was bang on 211, but this year he's been coming in like 205. So,
he was like, he even got down to 204 for some of those shows. And I think for him, it was just kind of getting that condition to win the shows. But I felt like he needed, I don't know, I think he had more like a little bit more roundness back in 2019. But
right, so obviously the big thing I want to talk about is something like, okay, I'm going to give a bit of backstory here. I've been working in the bodybuilding media 26 years, Austin. And you can imagine how many hundreds, I've been doing this since I was 19, I'm 45 now. You can imagine how many shows I've been to. And obviously all the previews I do with Ron Harris for the last several years, and I'm pretty much, I've probably got I don't know what my percentage is, maybe like 95% with my predictions and previews. We're pretty much bang on the money. And if you watch the Texas preview, I maybe have to edit something and put it in. And I said, and then Ron says, "Well, what about Austin Karr?" And I says, "No." I said he was way out in Texas. And he says, he said, he's a bit watery in the glute. I says, "No, that wasn't water, that was fat." I said, "And you cannot lose that in a week." I said, "You can't do it." And this is not like, Phil Clayhallow, when he went from 11th, 2nd from Tampa to Texas, but he was Chicago. He was looking good, and then he got a few percent better, and it was that difference that really shot him up to second. But you, to Tampa, I'll be honest, you completely. I thought you looked 6 weeks out, and you completely blown it.
It was. The thing was, I don't know if you saw it, but I posted a photo 2 days out at Tampa.
Yeah.
And it was a nasty front double bicep.
Oh, was it?
My waist was sucked in vacuum, and then I even had a most muscular shot from the front, and it was like, I think it was so deceiving because what I did was I tried to carb up way too much, Giles, and it was so bad with the liquid and the water and then the food. It just went, and I talked to Johnny Jackson in Texas. Everything just went, and it just went out in the skin, and the skin just completely went soft. And then what happened was when I did Texas, I hooked up with AJ Sims with the cement factory. I don't know if you know AJ.
I know AJ, yeah. Sims, yeah.
And we just basically, the day after the Tampa, that night, I did an hour of stairs. Didn't go out to eat.
I bet like you were hoping, please just give me a diuretic. Just give me a tablet. Give me some vitamin C or something. And he's like, no, hour on the stairs.
I'm telling you guys, and I think it was a good thing for me too, because I came into Tampa thinking, I was going to because I was like, you know what? Because my whole thing was to go to Open. And I was looking at the 212 guys like, oh, these guys are tiny. I'm going to just out muscle them. And I came in there thinking, I'm going to just be the biggest guy on stage. And that became the biggest, fattest guy on stage.
But the thing is, it didn't even look water. I'll be honest, mate, it looked like fat.
It did. It was so weird. And I don't know if I had an allergic reaction or something I was eating, but I don't know what it was, because AJ, as soon as he saw it, he pulled me back, and he just sucked out all the carbs, and we depleted from Saturday all the way till Thursday or Friday. I'm telling you. And here's the thing: I stayed in Tampa for the additional 5 days, and I'm telling you guys, I was so miserable. But in the back of my mind, I was telling myself, you got to do Texas. You cannot finish the year with that placing. That is not that's not my physique, and I knew that coming out of that show. I even made a post about it. And then Texas was just 100% all out heart. How bad do I want it? And I felt like, Giles, if I would have had 5 or 6 more days, and I'm not trying to say, Ahmed is a great bodybuilder from Kuwait or Egypt, I want to say, that won the show.
Ahmed Wadani.
Yeah, he's an awesome bodybuilder.
Incredible.
But I felt like if I had 5 more days, 6 more days, Giles, and my glutes were coming in harder, I think I would have won that show. I think I really would have won that show. And I'm not saying the judges had it wrong, but they had it right with him winning. But I think my physique, it just had more pop to it. But he's no discredit to him. I think that guy could even get top 3 in the Olympia this year. He's very good.
I think top 6 is a possibility, but I think he needs to get a little bit harder again. Right. Okay. So, I'm trying to work out your way of thinking, what you were trying to do for Tampa. What, when you said 2 days out and you're looking really, really good in the shots you posted, what was your weight?
Oh man. I was hovering around 215 to 212.
What? 2 days out from Tampa?
Yeah. I was right at the top of the scale, and that was messing us up, because I think we were saying, oh, well, if we can get under 212, then we can fill up hard.
Right.
We can fill up, and then we can just really blow up the look and fill out and pop, which that's not, for me, is more just get peeled and see where your weight lands. And then you can mess around with food. But first is getting peeled first. If I'm 200 pounds or 230, I look the same size. You know what I'm saying? Because of the lines and the aesthetics. And I have to bring my waist in tight, or else it just, my whole physique's off.
If I'd have seen pictures, and then I'd have seen the pictures how you looked on stage, I'd have said, I would have had a theory. I'd have said, okay, he's probably one of these guys around 206 to 208 who's thought, I want to come in big at the limit, and I'm going to carb like fuck to get up to 212. Yeah. And stuff a load of food in to get the 212 limit, weigh in, try and maybe shove in some more. But but obviously that's not what happened. So why did you not pull back at that point?
Yeah,
hindsight.
I think that for Texas, I told AJ, I said, I don't care if I'm 200 pounds. Yeah. Just get me peeled to the bone. And he said that's his thing, is getting guys peeled. So he said, don't worry, you're gonna get peeled. Yeah, don't worry about your weight. And I think that is, as a guy that was in 212, I get to that point where I'm like, oh man, if I'm 205, I'm going to be tiny. But I got to remember, I'm almost 5'9", and my structure's bigger than a lot of the 212 guys.
You're 5'9"?
5'8", 5'8".
Wow, because Zane Watson and George Peterson are 5'8". But they're like anomalies. They're anomalies. They're anyone over 5'6" normally looks too small for the 212.
Yeah, I mean, I stand next to Flex Lewis. I'm a couple inches taller than him, but it's just like when I talked to Jay, he said it's just timing. You just need more time to fill out your frame. Mm-hmm. So, but on the second hand, Giles, I don't want to blow out my waist. Don't. I want to keep the waist tight, but I know going to open, you're gonna have to, you're gonna have to compromise a little bit in the waist to get the back. Do you know what? I think it feels like you've learned a lesson about sort of body weights and bringing the best look, regardless of what you weigh. Because if that ever starts to creep into your head and starts to influence your decisions that the last few days out, filling out, I think you just need to look at Sean Clarida and Kamal, because Sean Clarida is 177 pounds. Kamal's probably 205. And those guys look phenomenal.
There you go. There you go.
And look at and that's what I was looking at Derek Lunsford this year. And I'm like, man. He's gonna have to suck down because he looks huge, and he's trying to make that 212 weight. I mean, that's a lot of. I just for me, like if I had all that muscle, I wouldn't want to lose it. You know, I'd like want to keep it and keep growing into the class. But
well, I just said to Michael Bryson from This Is Bodybuilding, I just had him on this episode, and I said, what do you think Lunsford weighs, and do you think he's going to retain that impressiveness? Also, if what's his name? I've completely forgot.
George
Peterson. Mine's gone blank. Sorry, I was talking about Derek Lunsford. What do you think he weighed on stage?
Oh man, last year I think he was
the guest posing. Sorry, the guest posing.
Oh, I think he was 235.
Yeah, but he's got ripped glutes. He's got ripped glutes. Do you think he's going to get that off and still make it under 212? Exactly.
I just feel like, where's he going to lose the weight from? Because he's got ripped glutes at that weight. I mean, he's got so much muscle. It's just, you're going to lose muscle at that point. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I don't know. That's just, he'll lose the pop and that roundness. Yeah. You know what I mean? To get to that 212. If he can just suck it out, I mean, the right way, I don't know how he's going to do it.
He's at the crossroads, I think, that Hadi and William Bonac were at, because William Bonac in 2012 was a 212. Hadi was a 212. So right. I really think he needs to step up, because I want to see the best. I don't care what category someone's in. I just want to see the best version of them.
The best, yes.
You know, I want really, everyone wants to see Flex Lewis just do an open show just to see him 225 shredded, because he will be shredded at 225.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And I think with the guys, if they would, and I was talking to Justin Miller about this, if we would just make a class 212, make it 220. And then you would see guys, imagine if you've seen guys that can get up to 220. I mean, that gives you 8 more pounds, and these guys would just be so loaded, round, it would be insane, because you would have taller guys doing it.
Austin, I've got a confession, right? A couple of years ago on the MD forum, I put a hypothesis forward. I said, why don't the 212 used to be 202? What about the 222? And I'll be honest, I didn't get a single person that thought it was a good idea.
Really?
Jose Raymond said, that's an effing dumb idea. If anything, bring it back down to 202.
No.
Not a single person. I just said, it's got to be someone that thinks this is a good idea. We'll see Flex Lewis. We'll see Derek Lunsford. We'll see, all these guys looking, they'll be George Peterson won't have to suck it down. And not a single person agreed with me.
I think that's silly because...
Yeah, me too.
Because look at, if you go to the 212 versus the open, right? You're going from 212 and then you go right up to 240, 250, 260.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you put you guys in the 220 range, you can get some of those taller guys to come down and look really peeled, but then it's just tough because the 212 it's a great class, but I mean, it's hard for guys like me and George to, we got to suck down to that 212 weight, at that height, you lose a lot of pop, but at the same time, to go up to open, you're going to have to put on 25 pounds of muscle. So you lose the lines and aesthetics.
I disagree. I don't think because I've had quite. I remember when I was at 2017 San Marino, and Hadi had just come second to Flex at the Korea, and he came on a stage at San Marino, and I've been raving about it for 4 years, like how impressive he looked. And I messaged. I was at the hotel in San Marino in Italy, and I messaged Patrick Tour, who said he was having breakfast with Dennis James, and I said Dennis James was working with Hadi at the time, or something. Well, he was with him or something. And I said, what was Hadi's weight? Because he looked so much bigger and freakier. And he said 212. And he said he was 212 for that show as well.
That's crazy. How tall is Hadi?
I don't know, but he beat Brandon.
He did, huh? And he
could have won the show.
I think the best show I saw him was that Toronto Pro. I think it was Toronto Pro.
Vancouver, 2019.
Yes, when he beat Nathan and Ian.
Yeah. That
was his best look. And I think he was only 220. I want to say 220.
I don't think he was even that, mate.
But he's definitely put on some size since that show. So, but it's different because the shorter guys, the more peeled and round you get, the lighter they look. I mean, the lighter they weigh, but they look 230s. It's crazy.
So really, you don't have to be 25 pounds heavier to make an impact as an open. You could come in just... Yeah. It doesn't matter what you weigh. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I think and then the thing with me, Giles, is if I could just, and I'm telling you since I've hooked up with AJ, I think you're going to see you're going to see a condition. I've had every show where I've lost the show based off condition, because if my condition was there, appeal to the bone, I think in Chicago and in, Texas, I think I would have pushed those wins, but I haven't nailed it yet. Yeah. And I think once I nail it, you're going to see, because I think I have the lines and the shape and the size is all there. It's just for me nailing condition. And that's been my number one, critique in all the shows so far. So I've beaten guys that are really good based off my lines and my shape. Yeah. But you can't win Olympia or you can't win pro shows with just shape, I mean, I wish I could,
that frontal bicep of yours is spectacular. I mean, your legs are incredible, and in your upper body, and plus, I think you've posted a couple of pictures since, and your upper body's just filled out. It's just filled out a little bit. Yeah. You look really nicely balanced. You do have a nice shape. You've got great body parts. I just think, I mean, what does Flex Lewis think? Have you asked him or?
Yeah, he told me. He said, where do you want to go with this? And I said, I think I just want to keep, getting better with my back, and my, upper body needs to match the legs. But he said, and he's like, mate, I don't see you as a 212 guy. I see you as an open guy. Mm-hmm. I see you, walking around at Dragons, and you could be an open guy, a good open guy, like with your lines and your small waist. But, where are you going to go with 212? Because you're going to outgrow that in a year. Yeah. And now you're going to have to suck down to get to that weight. And Jay said it to me perfect the other day. He said, it's just, for me, it was a timing, just be patient and don't worry about getting too big. Yeah. You're going to get bigger as you get older and older. But I think just nailing that condition and then putting on the time to put on the size, because, like this sport, you can't rush it. Mm. You rush it and you blow out your lines, and then your waist is gone.
Look at Flex Lewis, and I'm using Flex as a very good example. If you look at Flex from his first Olympia win to his last Olympia win, he was always the same body weight. But like Sean Ray, every year his body weight didn't change, but he got better at that weight.
See, that's crazy. And their waist stayed the same too, right?
Yeah, they had to. Well, Sean Ray had to, but Sean was like, 205 to, and he was making top 2 in the Olympia,
See, if you look at Phil Heath, when he got third at the Arnold that one year, and he was 218, I think he was. Yeah. He looked phenomenal. Yeah. I mean, I think that could have won the Olympia a couple years ago. Yeah. But it's tough, Giles, because you see these guys now on stage on the Open. Nobody's less than 250. It seems like it's like 240s, 250s.
Completely. I'm gonna throw something back at you now from that comment. 2019 Olympia, 2 of the guys in that top 3 were under 225.
Hottie and Bonac.
There you go.
Yeah.
What was Brandon was 245?
245.
There you go.
But he looks like he put on more size this year too, though. He looks pretty big.
Brandon.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine him ever stepping on the stage more than 250.
Yeah, it's tough because those guys like Bonac and Hottie, they're so round, so they carry so much muscle mass, and they're shorter too. They're 5'6", 5'7", I want to say. Bonac.
Bonac's 5. I'm sure he's 5'7". I'm sure Bonac's 5'5".
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. He's got so much muscle on that frame. It's crazy. I just just being patient and having the timing. But for me, Giles, the next show that I do, I don't know what show we're doing yet. Condition is going to be, I'm telling you, from the glutes, from the lower back, I want that nasty Christmas tree with the lines. You got
AJ Sims in your corner. He's going to be on your ass the whole time. He's going to be checking your condition. You got to see to do a proper full prep with someone like that's that experienced, that knows real condition, even from photos. That's going to be, and he's probably going to get this numbers thing out of your head. Because you'll have time to really digest what's just happened with these shows, and and things you've learned, because it's a learning curve. You learn as you go along. I think you're going to see by far the best version of you next year working with AJ.
Thank you. I think so, and what we're doing is in the off season, I'm training glutes 3 times a week, which I've never done. And he said it's just you don't have the muscle. You need more muscle in your glutes. So when you diet down, you have shredded glutes, because my legs overpower my glutes a lot. So it's just training the muscle and staying, training abs too. I think a lot of guys, they neglect the ab work in the off season. They need to train more abs too. So, that's going to be a different priority, the abs and the glutes.
Going back to that transformation now, I think you could have done wellness in Tampa, mate.
Yeah.
Because I said to Ron, I said, that's not water on his ass, that's fat. But that's why I know. I'm joking. But going back, to that. But that's really like I said, going back to that kind of week's transformation. I think that actually gives a lot of hope to, and it shows that it's judged very fairly as well. Because like what you and Phil Clayhard done this year has made me rethink the entire kind of like when I interviewed a guy called Pavel Baran from the Czech Republic, and he was 4th at the Prague show behind Ruli, Nathan Diash and Lucas Asladl in 2018. He went to the Alicante show a few weeks ago and he got 13th. And I said to him, look, before like yours and Phil Clayhard's situation, I would have said to him, look, just shut it down till next year. I don't know what's going. I don't know why you've been placed 13th, because you look great. Right. But I said to him, go and do Prague. I says, because what I've seen with you and Phil, like he could go and get top 3 and look exactly the same.
It's crazy because, you like you said, shut it down. And that was my first initial thing, was my body's tired, shut it down. And then I said to myself, well, if it's the last show of the year, even if I get 5th, at least we can go out and do better than we did at 16th in Tampa.
You got 2nd. Wow.
I told myself, I've never been outside of a top 5 lineup since my pro shows. So that was, the worst experience ever competing. It felt like, like I was watching the show from the crowd and looking at that, standing on stage. Like, am I even in the show?
Yeah.
I'm like, Steve, Tyler.
I think if this had happened in the 90s, you'd have been like one of the hydroxy cut before and afters.
Yeah, it would have been a lot of money.
I achieved this in 12 weeks. They're like, no, actually, I achieved it 1 week. Oh my God.
1 week.
Yeah. Incredible.
And that's crazy, because when I told AJ, I said, let's do Texas, he had no doubts. He was like, okay. He didn't even question it. Yeah. Like if you were a coach, you'd say, I don't know, you might need 2 to 3 weeks at least to get. But he exactly sent me a plan, and we got to work right away. And he just said, start doing your cardio. And I started on the stairs. I said, yep, I'm already on it. Don't even worry about me. I'll eat whatever you say. So we just started dieting like death diets.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I did roll my eyes when Phil Clayhard said, I'm going for the win in Tampa. And I was like, you've just got 11th and you're going to go for a win in a show just 2 weeks later? Come on.
He honestly surprised me, that guy. I mean, he looks so good in Texas. I was really impressed. He was like, for his age at 47, and to be that hard and grainy on stage, he carries a lot of muscle, Giles. It just, you can't tell because he's 6 foot, but he has a ton of hard maturity, dense muscle. I think he's so tall, his legs they don't look as thick as Ian's and Steve's, but he's definitely a big guy in person. He carries a lot of mass.
Austin, do you want to give any thank yous before I let you go, mate?
Oh, I want to say thank you for getting to cover the shows and stuff. And you guys are going to see. I'm telling you now, I'm more hungry, and I don't waste any second of the day. Good. So this is like what I love to do. And you guys are going to see next year. I definitely will be on that Olympia stage. And thanks to AJ for helping me out, my wife, and Ron Harris. Everybody at Muscular Development, you guys are awesome, and I'm hungry and I'm passionate. Oh, I also signed with Gasp. So,
oh wow, Gasp.
Yeah, they're a really good company, and Michael Johansson, the owner, he's awesome, and HD Muscle, I'm with them too, with Dorian and Mariah and Noah. So they're an awesome team, and you guys are you're going to see a different Austin Karr.
Are you going to get up to Denver and do some shoots with Martin and Brett, Martin Fitzwater and Brett Wilkin? Now you're all teammates, and Sean Clarida maybe, or?
Yeah, I think they travel a lot too. I think if we could hook up in Texas, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Those guys are definitely, I put them on before I go to the gym, because they kill each other. I love it.
Incredible, aren't they? Those two, man.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing.
That Martin guy, he's going to be really good, man. He's only 24, I think. 24. So he's got the world, I think, potential in his physique. He's just got to play it safe.
How old are you, Austin?
I don't even know. 36, 36, 30.
You stopped counting past 35 then.
But I mean, honestly, I didn't even get into bodybuilding until 2017 or 16.
Wow.
Yeah, I was a police officer for 12 years. So it wasn't planned out. I knew though. Everybody said when I was a cop, they were like, "Man, you look like a bodybuilder." So they said, "You know why you should?" You know, I was training like a bodybuilder, but I never competed. And the first national bodybuilding show, I got my pro card. So they were like, "Man, you're going to be good." So it was definitely. I think it's better that I started later because my body's more fresh. If I would have started at 19, I think I would have been retired by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. And also, mate, when you really hit it big and you start winning multiple pro shows and you're in that first call out of the Olympia, you can give the credit to Ron Harris because he was the one that basically discovered you. He's the one that said, Giles, watch out for this guy. Because normally it's me saying, there's a guy in Europe. He's really good. This guy's really good. Oh, yeah. And he was the one that said, check this guy out, Giles. Just go and watch the video from last year for the Chicago preview. He said, no, watch out for him. He's very, very, very good.
And you guys, I'm telling you, like, it's humbling to hear that, and I won't let you down. And I'm 100% every day of the week is dedicated to my training and the bodybuilding. I love it. Good. It's I love to do it. So
good. Well, I'll be messaging Flex and just say, look, keep an eye on this guy. Let me know what's going on because I want to. Yeah. Just got to keep an eye on his progress. Make sure he's working hard.
Tell Flex let's start training together so I can win at Olympia like him.
Yeah. Cool. I'm sure he'd love to actually because he's like I said, he's you're on his doorstep. So,
but,
absolutely. Austin, it's been fantastic, mate. Thank you so much for coming on MD Global Muscle. I've really enjoyed it. It just completely very went with a lot of different directions out interview, but I've really enjoyed talking to you, mate. And fantastic that 16th to second. That was a real talking point of 2021. I've got to be honest, mate. It's huge achievement and second place in a great pro show. And just keep going, keep working hard, mate. And I'll be interested to see what unfolds with you in the next couple of years.
And I'll keep you guys updated for sure for everything.
Good man.
Absolutely. Thank you, Giles. Appreciate it.
All right, Austin. Thank you so much, mate.
All right, you guys. I'll see you guys.
Bye-bye. Thank you. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the Unrise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. I'm going to join all the way from Netherlands, Wesley Vissers.
What's up? Glad to be here.
Wesley, actually turn the volume up a little bit, please. Thank you. Wesley, I've literally just been talking about you in the hot news segment, mate, because I was so relieved when I saw that you qualified for the Olympia in Poland.
Yeah, me too. I'm super excited for this because, I expected to qualify in Portugal. And then Poland came around, which is for me the last opportunity to qualify. And then to qualify still for this year is just an amazing feeling for sure.
Do you know what, mate? It was kind of bittersweet, Portugal, because I was so happy that you but you really nailed that condition. I mean, that's the one thing they said, when Wesley gets it together with all his size and his aesthetics and his classic lines and his physique and his vacuum, as soon as this guy gets his condition, finally, he's going to be a threat for the Olympia. And you did. You actually brought, your conditioning, your color, everything. Everything came together so beautifully. So when you got third, I was like, no! I was just like, it was just so... but I mean that's done, and you've qualified for the Olympia. So I'm absolutely over the moon for you, mate.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, the conditioning is something that's very much improved for sure. That's what the judges told me. You have the classic shape. They even told me you have the perfect physique. You just have to come in shape, in condition. And nowadays that simply means dried out hamstrings, striations in the quads, the glutes to come in, and that's exactly what I did, especially for Poland. So very happy that paid off.
So what did you do so differently this year? I mean, because you've always had good condition, but obviously for you to take that step up, and the judges said, we want this from you if you really want to step up into that top 5 Olympia, which I think we all know you've been saying for 3 years that you're capable of. What did you do so different this year? Did you prep longer or what? Tell us.
Yeah, so as you know, in classic physique, you have a weight limit. So for my height, I'm allowed to weigh 112 kilos.
That's huge.
And then I can get up to 130 kilos. So my thought was always, okay, I need to get to 112, but not too far below, because otherwise I'm going to look stringy because I'm tall. So in my head, I was like, okay, when I reach 112, that's my minimum weight I have to weigh. But the truth is, if you dig even deeper below it, then you get the true conditioning. So what you're saying is, yeah, a longer prep was necessary this time. And that's the difference between Portugal and Poland. I simply extended the prep with a couple of weeks, and you could see it in the definition. I weighed like 109 kilos on the day of the show. So 3 more kilos to go for my weight. So that's, a very good news, of course, knowing that I still have quite some room to grow. But on top of that, I was actually measured at 6'3" instead of 2. So in fact, I can actually gain 7 kilos still.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's quite a lot. That's close to 20 pounds, almost like 18 pounds or something. So that's a lot of weight.
Do you know what, that actually settles something, because I remember when I first bumped into you backstage at the Royal London Pro in 2018 when you turned pro. It was in March 2018, and I remember someone saying, "Oh, he's 6'1", and I was like, "Look, I'm 6 foot tall. You know, on a good day, I've been measured at like 6'1" at the doctors and stuff, and I thought he's way over that. You're way over 6'1".
Yeah, because I've been measured about half of the time at 6'3", and the other half at 6'2". So, I have to find and standardize a way for me to stand tall to always be 6'3". So I've been using the inversion table quite a lot as well to make sure that I'm just a few millimeters longer, just to make sure I keep being that height. But I don't want to blind stare at that amount of weight, because I know that for my physique, I simply need to be super shredded. And on top of that, I need to add some fullness, and that's the next step.
So you said you were 109, sorry, I didn't catch, 109 kilo in Poland.
Yeah, in Poland, yeah.
What were you in Portugal?
In Portugal, I was around 110, but I didn't load as much because I didn't want to take any risk with carb loading. So I loaded with about 400 grams of carbs in Portugal and with close to 1,000 grams in Poland. So also the amount of intracellular water was higher in Poland, but the fat was a lot lower. So that's why the weight difference isn't that big, but the conditioning difference was definitely there.
Be honest now, which look do you prefer from Poland or Portugal?
Well, in Poland, I was more conditioned, but I did see I was a little bit, dug out, really. So, for example, one key of my physique is having big arms, and my arms were a little less full during Poland, and they were fuller during Portugal and even fuller during the Olympia last year. But then I overshot my carb loading, so I was watery, but then I did achieve my fullest look yet. So the plan now is to combine the conditioning of Poland with more fullness. That's all has to do with how you implement the peak week, of course. And I didn't want to take any risks this time, so I only loaded for 1 day, but perhaps 2 days would give me a better look.
Do you know, I'm actually mistaken, because I said that you finally nailed it for Portugal and Poland, but you actually, when you won the Romania, was it 2019?
Yeah, true.
That was a beautiful look.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I pretty much did the same there. I thought the prep was quite long. I didn't take any risk with the loading protocol, so the only thing I did was load with 400 grams of carbs, which is very low for me, and cut water just to make sure that I'm not going for fullness. I'm going for that conditioning, because after so many years, you have a certain amount of muscle foundation anyway. So even if you are not full, you still will have the fullness from the muscle itself. So that's what I was going for in Romania, and that paid off for me quite a lot, because after that I had a full year to prepare for the Olympia. And sometimes if the shows aren't back to back, it could backfire a little bit, because obviously I was way too full for the Olympia. There was so much time in between. You pretty much go into the off season and go back into a prep. You try different things. You want to show an improved physique, and I just loaded too much for that show. But that's a lesson learned. So, everything is important.
How old are you now, Wesley?
I'm 28.
28. Now, we had Miracle Bear, us. The classic guy, and it's kind of thrown the idea of muscle maturity on its head with someone like that, because as you get older, you think you get more detail and thickness and muscle maturity, but then there's a guy like this who's like 23, and it kind of. So I'm just wondering, because you don't just seem to be a better condition now, but your muscle seems to have more density and detail. Like there was a side chest shot we just brought up on in the hot news segment of you, and I zoomed in right in. I said he's never had that before. When it was really, you could really see the fine striations and the detail. So what's your thoughts on things like muscle maturity?
Yeah, it is true. For me, the more times I get to such a low body fat, the more different kinds of striations will be visible. I see it in my quads, for example. The separation in all the quad muscles is more and more visible, those small striations. But for me, that's my kind of maturity. So maturing in getting lean every time and going a bit deeper. But for someone like Urs, sometimes it's also a little bit genetically, given to someone to look more mature at an early age. But I have to say, his coach gets people in shape really well. And for people who don't know yet, for Poland, I didn't have a coach. I did it myself.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I will actually have the same coach as Urs. So his Instagram handle is Boss of Outlaw, and his name is Stefan Kinzel. And, he's just someone who's very passionate about his athletes. For example, the Classic Physique competitor Fabian, who won the Europa Pro in Spain.
Maya,
was coached by Stefan. So he coached physique guys who I really like the look of, and they get in very, very good condition, which is exactly what I need.
So he's got that guy, Stefan, has got 3 guys going to Olympia.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you travel as a team, or are you okay to get to the Olympia this year? Everything okay with your visa and all that?
Yeah, the problem is, just like last time, everybody from Europe has to quarantine first for 2 weeks in a different country. So it's always a big investment in time and, of course, money to actually go to the Olympia. But for me, this is my passion, my job. So I'm willing to sacrifice all of that. So I think this time, instead of Aruba, which I went to last time, I'm this time going to Mexico, very close to the border, and then stay there for 14 days and then move to the USA.
Wow. So when do you fly up?
I think either September 19th or September 20th. Kind of depends on the flight times, because I want to be sure that I stay there for 14 days and not 13 and a half, and they can actually not let me in. So I just want to be sure that I stay there long enough. Yeah.
So going after something just popped into my head, going back to your physique, I think when your quads are dry, because you're saying about glutes and hams, everything being more dug out and more detail in the arms and everything else. I think with you, I can tell straight away if I see your quads. I think when I saw the Portugal and it was a front lat spread, and as soon as I saw your quads were dry and separated, I said, that's it. He's going to be conditioned every single angle.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah, that's true what you're saying, because whenever I'm in prep, I'm looking for certain signs in my physique to tell me, okay, if this is showing, the rest is going to be okay. Yeah, and that's exactly. Quads, when I see those little striations there in a certain area, I know, okay, if I see that, then the rest is going to be just fine as well from the back. Yeah. So that's what I'm looking for. But now I'm looking actually at my hamstrings, because that's the next step. The quads come in very good condition, and the next step is the hamstrings have to come in very good condition, and the glutes, of course. And that's what I look at now to see, okay, if those are in condition, the rest is going to be very, very dry.
I'm excited, mate, because it's funny. That's like you've been around 3 years, but you've done so much in that time.
Yeah, it's true. Classic physique is just really my passion, and I want to do as many shows as I can, but not too much to actually. I still want to be able to grow into the class, and as I just said, my weight limit has not been reached yet. Maybe not for a long time if I make that height. So there's still a lot of improvements to make. But I just want to make sure that every single time I do a show, there are improvements to be seen, because nowadays the judges, they don't want to see the same package. They want to see an improved package. Yeah. And that is the way to move up in the ranks.
I think it was I've got the 2018 Arnold Classic. It was Arash, Brion, and I just remember just scanning the lineup, and it looked like somebody just dumped an open guy in the classics. You literally towered over everyone, and you were two classic guys wide.
2019.
2019, yeah. It was just, I said, how is he? And your condition wasn't absolutely like bang on. So I was thinking, how much has this guy? I mean, as soon as you get yourself in shredded condition, you're going to have so much room in that category, to kind of really rise. That's what I really sort of thought, okay, this guy's got real potential here.
Yeah, that's very true. I think every pound of muscle I can add now on top of a conditioned physique, that will make a big difference, especially for someone of my height and stature. I think that's going to be, I like to be the same dominant figure as Arnold used to be back in the day.
Yeah.
Stand on stage and does a frontal bicep, it's over for the rest. Yeah. And that's what I want as well. So you have those classic guys like Rough Diesel and those more compact aesthetic guys, but you also have, and that's my category, the more dominant, towering classic physiques. So those to me are really the two different types of classic physiques. And Chris Bumstead, I think, is like the hybrid in between the two. So everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, but it's just up to myself to be as balanced as possible, listen to the feedback of the judges, which right now was a lot of conditioning. And I think the next thing will be to improve the hamstrings and the leg and stuff like this, and just make my strong body parts even stronger, because I think in classic physique you do need something to stand out to actually show that dominance on stage.
I thought you looked a lot more polished this year as well, like your color, not just your condition, your separation, which is something you needed to improve, which you have now. It was like your color and your posing's always been flawless. Your presentation it's beautiful. So, but when I saw like your tan, like little things like that, you're seeing these like real sort of steps forward. It's great to see that continual progression from athletes like you.
Yeah, I remember in 2018 when it was my first pro show in Chicago Pro, my tan was way too light.
That's right. Yeah.
It was in between me and Amit Roy, who was in second place eventually. He was very conditioned, but he was smaller. So it was like, okay, what are we going to choose for? And I was way too light in the morning and the pre-judging. So immediately we darkened my tan. And that's part of the presentation of the total package that has to be correct in order to receive that first place. Your physique can be very good, but if something in your presentation is off, especially in classic physique, it's going to cost you points. So since that contest, I make sure to be always dark enough, polished enough, get the right type of oil on me to make sure that at least that won't be something that sends me, a couple of ranks down.
Do you remember who messaged you in between the judging and the night show at that show?
Yeah, I do.
I said, fill out and get some more bloody tan on. I was texting you, wasn't I?
Yeah, I was still a true rookie then, because that was literally like a few months after my winning my pro card. So I had no experience with the true pro shows, of course. So receiving feedback like that was vital to me at the beginning, because then I know, okay, this is very important. So I got to fix this. And that really helped.
Wow. So, I mean, is this your third Olympia now?
Yeah, this was my third one.
Third?
Yeah.
So you turned pro in 2018 and you're already on your third Olympia at 28.
Yeah, I actually skipped one, I think. Yeah, in 2019, I skipped it because I wanted to, have a longer off season and to prep for another show. And I think that's going to be only one ever in my career that I won't do, because from now on, I want to do the Olympia every single year. Nice. And I'll do my very best to qualify for it for sure, because that is simply the show to be at. And the more I show myself there, the more chance I'll have to be in the top ranks of the show.
So, I mean, aside from everything else, I mean, how's life going? I mean, your Vintage Genetics, you've got your YouTube channel, very popular, huge amount of subscribers. And because you seem to be one of those guys, you kind of quietly go away, you do your work, you post occasionally, you pop up, you improve. So what have you been doing? How's life been going for you in the last year?
Life has actually been going quite well. So if you look a year back, that's when my son was born, who is actually going tomorrow. So that's, of course, a very big change in my life. And things have been moving to the right direction, because we're also moving from our smaller apartment to actually a a true bigger house, for example. And all of that, directly and indirectly, is thanks to bodybuilding. Because without the social media, without the YouTube, without the clothing company, Vintage Genetics, it would have not been possible to make all of those things happen responsibly. So, the supporters really, really do mean a lot, because without them, it simply wouldn't be possible. And a very practical example is traveling this time to the Olympia is going to be a very big investment. And without the channel, without the company, without the people supporting me, it simply wouldn't have been as easy as it is now. I mean, it's not easy. So it's an investment which I can only make because of the supporters. And that has only been growing over the past year. I'm trying to let people in a little bit more about my private life, like with my son and my girlfriend and stuff, because people just like to see what's behind the bodybuilder. And recently I've also, a very long time I haven't been with a supplement at all, because I wanted to choose the right one. So right now, it's only been like a couple of weeks, but Jacked Factory is now officially my sponsor.
Fantastic.
So that's, I have a very good feeling about the company. As many people know, Chris Bumstead is part of the company as well. So he's number one in my category. So that is a big part of why I wanted to go with them, and their quality of supplements is just amazing. People know that I stand for the quality always. So that decision I don't take lightly, but it's just another step into making bodybuilding, the biggest part of my life. And, it's brought me so much. So it's just really, really amazing.
I think one reason why your fan base and your popularity is so big is, aside from your physique, with your YouTube, you do a lot of instructional stuff, which helps the kind of the trainers in the gym and the people who want to learn, and you're really connecting with people that want to just start training. But also, I think you're of good inspiration as well to the amateurs and even the pros, because you're someone that's really utilized your name to you've made it happen. You've gone out and you've got a clothing company, and you've aligned yourself with the right company, and you've made the right decisions. Because I remember, like I said, from, I followed your career from when you turned pro in 2018, and it has just been a continual progression with your career, with your popularity, with your businesses. And it's just been nice to see that just continual progression from you as an all-rounder.
Thank you very much, because we're bodybuilders, so we want to see progress in our physiques, but the same kind of progress we want to see in the rest of our lives as well. So it's just very nice to see that every number, every metric keeps growing, keeps going to the right direction. Stuff keeps being added to my life, which is only positive. So as long as you make progress, it doesn't have to be quick. It's always going to be better than making very high jumps and then falling down again, which some people do as well. So I just like to climb up very slowly and eventually get where I want to be.
You're a hard worker, and you've applied it very smartly as well, I think.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Wesley, I know you've got your cardio, and it's the Olympia a few weeks away, so I'm gonna let you go. But honestly, man, I'm really, like I said, I messaged you when I said, "God, I'm so relieved you qualified," because it was just, we all want to see you in the Olympia. We all want to see you progress. Oh, please tell me you're going to sort those trunks out. Those trunks last year were not good.
Oh no! Those trunks are burned.
Good. Thank God. So I had to say, so elephant in the room. So like I said, just joking, but it's been nice to see, and catch up and, and see your progress and everything. And we're just all rooting for you, mate. And like I said, I'm just, I think you're gonna do really well this year, mate, at the Olympia. I really do. And have you got any shows planned after the Olympia, like Romania or Prague or?
Yet, because quite busy this year with other things in our lives. So I just want to do my very best at the Olympia, and from there we're going to decide what to do next.
Okay, Wesley, I'm going to let you go do your cardio, mate. And like I said, just keep doing what you're doing, mate. That's the only thing I can possibly comment on. Is just keep doing your thing and progressing and rising through the sport, mate. That's all I can say.
I will for sure. Thank you very much.
All right, Wesley, are you going to say it? Are you going to say it, Wesley? Do the thing.
Well, guys, thank you a lot. And don't forget to stay golden.
Yeah! Sorry, that's a fanboy moment there. Right, okay then. Me and little Wesley are going to get coffee. And yeah. That's so cool, that, isn't it? So cool. Right, okay then. So I'll hopefully look forward to seeing what you're bringing on stage at the Olympia in just a few weeks.
Me too. It's going to be the best shape ever.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Right, okay then, Wesley. Enjoy your cardio, and I'll speak to you very soon.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, mate. Bye-bye. Okay, guys, it is hot news segment for episode 32 of season 4. Have you noticed I've dropped the shout-outs?
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah, you've noticed because I've just not said it. Literally. So, yeah, I've got rid of the shout-outs because literally we're focused so much news at the moment, and it's kind of... Shout-outs is kind of similar to hot news anyway. So, right, okay, we've got tons to get through. So, because we've got another guest coming up very, very soon. So, we're going to have to work our way through a lot of... I nearly said shout-outs then. Hot news. Right, okay, our first hot news shout-out is Hadi Choopan. Right, okay, Hadi Choopan, why did I bring this up? Well, because he has just got to the UK. He hasn't posted it. How unusual.
There he is.
Where? No, that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, let's have a look. Okay. What is he doing? Where's the picture of, if you go to, well... Oh, that's a bit shit. Come on, mate. You've got to post this. Come on, Hadi. Get to the top of your social media, mate. Well, basically, he is now in America. Now, this means trouble for his competitors, I've got to be honest. Because 2019, when he was 3rd place, 2020, when he was 4th place, if you look at how he looked at the Vancouver in 2019 and the San Marino in 2017, Hadi Choopan has not brought his best, the absolute 100% best to the Olympia yet. Hani Rambod said... If I can get him, in America 6 weeks out or whatever, he will bring the best Hadi Choopan to the Mr. Olympia this year. And yeah, he's done it. So he's now arrived in the US. He's 6 weeks out. 6 weeks. 5? Yeah. Well, it's better than flying him in at the last minute with all the uncertainty that 2019 and 2020. So, because it has to impact these bodybuilders. Even if you're prepping and everything's kind of focused, even the travel and all that, it has to play a part. I don't think you could really expect them to be at their absolute, and they need to be 100% to be able to win the Olympia. So, but this means. Now he's in America, and Hani Rambod's basically probably just watching him all the time now, checking everything. So So does this mean Hadi Choopan could win the Olympia this year?
Could do.
What do you think?
I reckon he'll either get number 2.
You think?
Or if Rami comes off, then he'll win it.
I'm just preparing myself for the barrage of hate I'm gonna get. I think Hadi's gonna beat Rami this year.
You think?
Yeah, I think he's gonna win. I think he's gonna beat Rami. I don't think Rami's going to win this year. I don't think Rami's going to duplicate what he did last year. I've got a feeling he's going to be a one-time... What is this? Okay, I was waiting for some equipment stuff. I was waiting for some stuff of Hadi. But I just have a feeling that Rami is not going to nail it this year. I don't know why. Before I had it as a thing in my head that he would win. But I got a feeling he's going to be... I think he's going to struggle to make top 3 this year. So, I can just hear my DMs filling up with death threats. So anyway, but I've actually written about it in this latest issue of Muscular Development magazine. And I've written who can actually beat Rami. And we've got... The first one is obviously 2019 Mr. Olympia, Brandon Curry. I think Brandon's going to shock this year. I think Ruli is going to... I think he's going to shock in the way that he's going to look completely different to how he did in Chicago, because I was in Alicante, I was doing a live stream commentary a few weeks ago, and in 3 weeks, what Ruli did with his physique was absolutely unbelievable. And I think he's really... And now he's qualified for the Olympia. I think he's just going to go all out, and I think we're going to see as good a version that I think we saw at 2018 Prague, which he won, or when he took 3rd place at the Mr. Olympia. Go back and watch that, or when he won the Arnold Australian 2018, because I think he can get back to that. I think Ruli can get back to that. So, and also, William Bonac. My little Willie. So, that joke never gets old. Yes. So I think, because obviously now William Bonac is now working with Coach Abdullah for his prep, and I think only good things are going to happen from that. So I think we're going to see possibly an all-time best William. I think we're going to see definitely an all-time... I think we're going to see best from all of them. But I've got a feeling Rami's not going to do it. I just don't know why. Maybe I had a dream or a vision. But yeah, why am I talking about Hadi? Oh yeah, because Hadi is now in the US. But I think the main thing is I just want to see Hadi looking like he did at the 2017 San Marino, the 2019 Vancouver. And I think he's going to get I think he's going to beat Ramy. Sorry. Oh, here we go. Right, okay. Next shout out is Akeem Williams, Mr. Coverman. And sixth place at the Olympia last year, won the Puerto Rico this year. I don't know. I think if he wins I don't know. He's in the conversation for Akeem winning the Olympia this year. I don't see it personally. I think he's gonna. I think even if he maintains his current top 6 status, I think that's going to be bloody impressive. Because let's have a look. Trains like a monster, doesn't he? Look at that. Bloody lighting's terrible. It's worse than Alicante. Yeah, I mean, obviously he's how many weeks out is he there? But I think he's going to struggle against guys like you've got Ian Valliere, you've got the Nick Walkers, you've got Hunter Labrada's coming up strong, Justin Rodriguez. We've got the guys like Rulli, Brandon, Hadi. I've probably missed out some really obvious names there, but so a lot of people think that he has it within him to actually win the 2021 Mr. Olympia and become number 17. So 17th man in history to win the Mr. Olympia that's what he would be if he, and that would mean we've had 4, it would be like from 79 to 84, when every single year we had a different Mr. Olympia. 79 Frank Zane, 1980 Arnold Schwarzenegger, 81 Franco Columba, 82 Chris Dickerson, Samir Banu 83, Lee Haney 84. 2017 we had Phil Heath winning the 7th. 2018 we had Sean Roden. 2019 we had Brandon Curry. 2020 we had Big Ramy. And I've got a feeling we're gonna have a new Mr. Olympia this year. And I don't know whether it's going to be Akeem. I'd love to see it happen, but I think he still has improvements he needs to make to his physique. I think if he can move up into that top 5, I think that is going to be a big step up for him, because I think this year's Olympia is going to be more competitive. I really do. Bonac. Let's see what this working with Abdullah brings, because I'm feeling optimistic about this one. I'm feeling really optimistic. In fact, how do you think they got the same coach? Do you think?
Yeah, it's like with Phil Heath and Hadi.
Phil Heath and Hadi. Yeah, because people.
They've gotten really well though.
Yeah, no. Phil, I mean, when I was on the Glow Muscle Pro Tour with Phil in 2019. Phil was very complimentary about working with Hadi. I remember we were leaving Strength Asylum, and I was driving, and then Phil goes, "Look at this," and he brought up a picture of Hadi, and he said, "Fucking look at that." I'm not sure he swore. I think I might have added a swear word there, but he was like, "Look," he said, "That's bodybuilding." So I think Phil would love to see Hadi win the Olympia, because obviously Phil, I'm pretty sure he's not doing the Olympia this year. But Akeem, we love Akeem. He's a great guy. He was 9th place in 2019. He moved up to 6th place this year. Last year. He won the Chicago Pro last year. Nick Walker was 4th. Why do I keep mentioning Nick Walker? It's just so popular, isn't it? He's so popular. He is. And all this conversation about him being a factor. I mean, I think 6th to 8th for Nick Walker. I'm really rambling here today. I'm digressing a lot.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. I've just had I think the espressos I make are probably about 5 shots.
5.
Yeah, because espresso is supposed to be like a thimbleful, but I leave it till it.
So
you
had pre-workout.
I pretty much had a pre-workout. Yeah, that's what I would have. In fact, for years I never trained without ephedrine. I never trained. Honestly, I wouldn't go to the gym if I didn't have my ephedrine or my ephedrine caffeine aspirin. I wouldn't train. And I'd have Metallica playing on the bus on my headphones, and I'd literally be grinding my teeth when I got to the gym.
Try that.
No, don't. Probably did some damage to myself. Probably burnt out my adrenal glands. Also, you want to see something cool? Talking about the Olympia. Look at that. Sorry? No, we're on this camera.
No, I mean.
Oh, sorry. I see what you mean. Right, duh. Right, yeah, 2002 Olympia. That was my first ever press pass. And if you notice this bit's been redacted, that was because someone put Flex Magazine from England. Because Kevin Horton put a word in, and Peter McGough says, no, he doesn't work for Flex Magazine. Scrub it out. But I'll let him have a press pass.
What a memento.
I know, it's so cool. But it's funny, like, look at that. I mean, look at the showmanship and the production values of that. I mean, fair play to Dan Solomon. I mean, when you go, it is so... I mean, the whole Olympia now has gone to a completely different level in terms of the production and the showmanship and the spectacle with the LED screens. And, you know, it's... in fact, LED screens have really taken the world to a whole new level. Have you noticed? I'm really going off on tangents here. Mandalorian. Yeah. They don't use green screen. They use LED screens. And it's easier to act when you're not in front of something blank.
Loki does the same, but if you notice, there's a big seam going across the screen.
Oh, does it? A seam going across the screen? Anyway, we're really digressing now. Right, okay, so yeah, Akeem Williams, I have no idea how he's going to do this year. I really don't. If he can even maintain that top 6, he's moving up because, like I said, I think it's going to be a very tough Olympia this year. I mean, as it is every year. But, okay then, we're going to go to my buddy, number 15, Brandon Curry. 1.1 million followers. Oh, I just love Brandon. Such a good guy. And do you know what? I would love to do another Olympia All-Star Tour with him.
He's such a nice guy.
I think we should go and do different countries with Brandon. I think maybe... Because we did UK, Portugal, Spain in 7 days. I would love to do 3 completely different countries with Brandon. He was so easy to work with. And he was so much fun to travel with. I mean, this is like the most updated... physique shot I've got of him. But I tell you what, there's a lot of people that think he could win it again this year. That would make him...
Oh, he knows what to do.
Yeah, of course he does. Yeah, he's Mr. Olympia. Thing is, Mr. Olympia, you'll always be Mr. Olympia. That's something no one can ever take away from you. If you're one of only 16 men, you know, I mean, Brandon, like I said, 2016, he barely scraped through to the Olympia on points. He was actually looking to get to completely jack in bodybuilding and go and get a normal job, you know, and then obviously the call came from Abdullah, and then, you know, Brandy, his wife, said, look, get your ass out there. Let's see what we can do. Let's give this our best shot. He did. And then straight away, the magic started happening. And then, 3 years later, I mean, to go from 8th to 5th to 1st, he's won the Arnold Classic and the Olympia in the same year in 2019. And what can you say about Brandon? He's a legend. I think he's a legend. He's a legend in the making. I think what he achieved is it's up there in terms of the Ronnie Coleman kind of inspiration of going from the back of the pack to the front. In fact, Ronnie took 6 years from the back of the pack, from 92 to 98 to win the Olympia. Brandon did it in 3 years. He was last place in 2016, and then he won it 3 years later. I think that's something that I think it'll be a long time before that's even come close to. So, but I have faith in Brandon. He's quiet. He gets on with his business, and he's hungry. And I've seen him train. I've trained with him. Did I train with him? I watched him train. I think I was just networking. But I think Brandon's one of these guys that he's like Bonac. I don't know what he has to do to kind of get that respect of being a real kind of consideration. But I like the fact he's not posting much. I think that's always a good sign because he just kind of just gets on with it. Let's put this music on. Put this music on. Let's have a look. Yeah. Brandon could win it again. I'll tell you that now. He had that outfit on when he...
challenges. It's about the...
Go on, Brandon! I love it. I get shivers watching stuff like this. Remember that guest posing? That was in... I think that was in Dubai. I turned down. Wow, that Arnold Classic, that night show, he looks sensational. In fact, I'd love to see him in that condition of the Arnold Classic, actually, at the Olympia. But, it's just... God, he got so much hate that year he won the Olympia. It was fucking terrible. Yeah, I mean, bodybuilding fans can be so disloyal and brutal, but they're very fickle bodybuilding fans, and I can include myself in that. But yeah, I mean, he's just a guy that, you know, keep underestimating him because he will keep proving everybody wrong. So, but I mean, imagine if he did what Jay Cutler did from 2007 to 2009, lost the title in 2008 to Dexter Jackson, came back in 2009 and just, you know, completely like blew everyone's socks off. But Brandon Curry, could he win again? Do you think he'll win again?
Oh, easy peasy.
You think Brandon, easy peasy, could win the Olympia this year? Easy. You think he'll take out all these guys? Ruli, Bonac, Rami, Hadi?
Rami and Hadi, I reckon they'll still...
So who do you think it's going to come down to at the Olympia, top 2? Who's the last 2?
Rami, Hadi, Brandon.
That's 3. I said 2.
Oh, 2, okay.
You can't count. Come on. Clock's ticking. What?
Brandon again.
You think Brammy and Brandon are going to be the last two?
That rivalry with Phil and Kai, but it would be a friendly rivalry.
Yeah, no, they're both great guys, both great champions. Although I think Brandon really stepped up in terms of promoting the title, promoting himself, making himself available for interview. I said this last episode. But yeah, so we're rooting for Brandon all the way. Okay, next one is Terence Ruffin. Terence going to be a little bit quiet recently. I do wonder if it was the John Meadows death, because obviously John Meadows was sadly left us, died a few weeks ago at age 49. I wonder if that was... It probably was a factor for him wanting to step back a little bit. And the thing is, a lot of these guys do go, you have to go quiet. You have to regress and go into your kind of within yourself to really do what you need to do to prep for an Olympia, and go all out, because it's the Olympia. And, a lot of these guys, their whole personality changes, so they go deep undercover. So this is the only recent picture I can find of Terence. Let's have a look. Yes, I can't really tell much, can you? It looks mush. It's the photo. But he doesn't... How many weeks out is he there? 4K. Oh, and who needs 4K quality? Here's a pic I took with a potato. You're the Panther. I don't know. I've got a feeling. I really hope he's really going to... Because I thought Terence did incredible last year when he took second to Chris Bumstead at the Olympia. I was absolutely amazed. Oh, talk about... And here he is training with Chris Bumstead. This was, 2 days ago?
Yeah, I saw that.
That's cool, isn't it? Hang on a minute. How much weight... Do you know what? I think one of the reasons that Chris Bumstead gets so much respect from the industry and the open bodybuilding fans is because he trains like a motherfucker. Because he trains hard. I mean, I've seen him deadlifting 500-600 pounds for reps. I'd love to see him and Valier training together.
He is essentially Superman.
He is a sentient Superman. What did I say? No, I think he'd be a good Thor. Superman. No, Thor. No, he's got the beard. He's got the lisp. So when he said Thor, sound like he's saying he's Thor. You can't be Superman. You can be Thor.
I just do his voice.
No, we love Chris. I mean, God, I don't want 3.4 million fans coming after me.
Read his comments on Chris Bumstead.
Let's have a look. C-Bum. Hell yeah, man. Great workout. Appreciate you guys letting me run with you. Take it home in a few weeks. 552 likes. Oh, do you know what? Robbie Robinson. He's so annoying. I mean, the guy's a legend. And if you just go through Instagram, he trolls it's like he trolls everyone. He complains. And he's just constantly ripping on people. I've got to bring this up because it's been going on for a while. And I just think one of these legends of the sport, and they just spend their time just trolling people's accounts, telling them what they should be doing and how they should be doing it. It kind of it's a bit negative. It really, look, focus and squeeze. Hard work pays off. It's like, but it's never complimentary or kind of supportive. It's like, oh, you should be doing like this. Guys are dying. And it's like an old man complaining. And it's a bit, I feel like it's a bit beneath these legends, Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. Good, because you fired otherwise. Cool. So, yeah, anyway. So, yeah, look at Chris. Look at Chris watching. He's not bothered, is he?
No, you don't care.
He's not bothered. He's like, oh, God, I've got to do this.
Boring.
It's funny, though, and he just looks kind of like, well, he's awesome, Chris. I mean, I think he's going to win. I think he's going to win several. He's going to win several.
I think he beat the record.
What's the record?
How many wins has Arnold's got? 7.
Oh, it's classic, and you can't really compare. No. It's like there's only one Mr. Olympia title, and there's one record, and then there's classic. But the thing is, classic's only been going since 2016 in the pro ranks. No, you said pro ranks then. In the Did you? Oh my God! Should I say about what I've nearly? Okay, I was doing the editing, and no, I can't say it.
No, you'll get bollocks.
Do you think I'll get told off?
Yeah, you'll get told off.
Okay. Well, no. Can I hint?
Go on.
Well, I wrote the Instagram name when when you watch Globe Muscle, which she knows, and no, I can't say it. No, Missy Truscott, and I replaced I accidentally put a different letter for M that would have probably been quite a backlash if I hadn't have double checked. So thank God that didn't go out, because I think I would have got some serious shit for that.
Yeah, you probably would.
And quite rightly so. Yeah, so I think that that would have ruined that that working relationship there with Missy Truscott. So anyway, so I just want to give, I just really hope we see Terence as good as he was last year. I want to see him in that final call out. I think it's going to be, I'd like to see Terence, Chris, and I've got a feeling, that it's either going to be Robert Timms or Lord Jones, Brian Jones. I think that's for me is possibly going to be the top 3. So anyway, God, I better speed up. We've got tons here. Right, okay. Our next shout out is This Is Bodybuilding. Michael Bryson, who had on in this episode. Like I said, I really like to acknowledge the people that 495,000 followers. This guy does a great job. I mean, these are the people that, a lot of bodybuilding fans on media, they kind of just pop up when the big shows are on but the people like this that are doing it year round for years on end, these are the kind of things that I really appreciate as a bodybuilding fan, when there are no shows and these people are still putting time and energy and effort into promoting the athletes. And he got a lot of shit for this, apparently. He said he got a lot of fans triggered because he put a picture of Chris Bumstead, obviously classic, next to Dorian Yates, one of the GOATs of all time. And please go to my last post and read. I posted these 2 photos with a photo of C-Bum starting off and then a swipe to the photo of Dorian Yates. My words in the post say, this photo of Chris harkens back to a photo of Dorian. Nowhere in the post do I compare the physiques or claim there's a similarity. It's funny though, have you seen how triggered people get? Because they see that and they just go crazy because they're like, oh, Dorian, you can't compare. And it's like, look guys, come on. Calm down. Isn't it funny how people get triggered? Can I talk about something else that triggered a lot of people a few weeks ago?
Go on.
Should I?
Do it.
Should I?
Yeah.
Arnold?
Oh,
No. Okay, I'm a bit naughty today. I feel like I want to push the boundaries a little bit.
well, it is Friday now.
Yeah, it's Friday. I'm getting a bit giddy. Right, so here's Robert Timms. Yeah, I'm impressed by this guy. Yeah, great to see him back because, like Ron Harris said when we did a preview, he said that he was 6th in the 2016 Olympia and then he slipped literally down to like 14th, 15th. Still at the Olympia. I mean, he's still getting to the Olympia. That's still a huge achievement. But Robert Timms, I've just accidentally liked that. Well, not accidentally. I like it anyway. But look at that. He's a freak. Could he be top 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, and here we are. This is what I was talking about. Being a fanboy of Phil Heath. I think that is, I want to say 2013. 2013? Yeah, 2013 Olympia. They are. Yeah. That was the year that Phil told me, he said, because he really, after the year before in 2012, when Kai Green came very, very close to him, Phil said, that was the year he went, he told me on the tour. And he said, yeah, 2013, he says, I really went for mass. He said, my training went more basic. He said, the reps went down to 6 to 8. He said, I pushed the food, I pushed the training, I pushed the poundages, I pushed everything. He said, because I really, really felt Kai really nipping on my heels. So there we are. That's not Phil Heath. That's Ronnie Coleman 98. No, my favourite version of Ronnie Coleman was 2003. Dorian Yates 93, unmistakable. I wish I'd gone to that Olympia. Oh my God, that's an Olympia I'd love to go back in time and go to, when Dorian walked out 257 and just absolutely freaked everyone out. I remember actually I was at Flex Wheeler seminar in 95, 96 in Cardiff, and someone said, do you think, standing next to Dorian at the 93 Olympia, do you think your condition should have been better? And he said, and Flex Wheeler said, he says, if my condition had been any better, I'd have been carried off stage in a box or something like that. And it's like, so basically Dorian made him look smooth almost. That's how impressive Dorian was. I disagree with that. The Jay Cutler 2002 Arnold. Yeah. Flex Wheeler 99 British Grand Prix, that was impressive. He was 254, I think he said there. Kai Green 2012 Olympia, I disagree with that. I think the Kai Green's best was the 2010 Australian Grand Prix, or even the last Arnold Classic, the last show he did in 2016. That's 5 years ago, yet he still continues to troll us. So, oh well, I'm probably going to get Kai checking my stories again now. Yeah. Now I've dissed him. Yeah, we'll come to Kai again in a minute, actually, because I want to call him out a little bit on something. Sean Ray 94, unmistakable. He looked fantastic that year. Kevin Verone 2000 Olympia, that was impressive. That was a beautiful look. That was. I mean, Kevin's my all-time favorite bodybuilder. Dexter Jackson 2008, huge shock. Obviously, when it wasn't a huge shock when he beat Jay Cutler, and rightly so, because he looked tremendous that year. Won the Arnold Classic that year as well. And we have in 1999 Chris Cormier. I was, if you knew what he was doing 8 weeks out, you'd be amazed that he actually got into that top 3 and in that condition. Because he did a UK tour, and maybe the story's for another time. But let's just say he wasn't in bed 9 o'clock every night eating chicken and rice, put it that way. I'll get Chris on and I'll maybe get him to talk about that, because maybe it's not my story to tell. So, and obviously there we are. One of the best quarter turns in the business there. Ian Valier coming off 2 wins at the Texas Pro and the Tampa Pro. And how do you think he's going to do at the Arnold?
I reckon he'll come out of 5th.
5th?
No, Arnold, I think.
Top 3? There's a lot of good names in it. The Arnold Classic. I tell you what, I'll be honest, right? I'm actually dreading doing the Arnold preview with Ron Harris, because normally I can pretty much order them in my head, all the competitors. But this is such a toughly contested Arnold. I'm really going to have to sit and think about where I think who's going to place where. Third or fourth. Okay, well that'll be good. I mean, that's, he's that would be very good. But anyway, yeah. So I just want to give credit to Michael, because Michael, you do a fantastic job, mate, and it's appreciated by the fans, and I know it's appreciated by the athletes. Otherwise, they wouldn't converse with you, and they certainly wouldn't come on your podcast, which, he's had Kevin Navrone, he's had George Peterson, and so you're one of the good guys, mate. Your work is appreciated, so keep up the fight, mate. Keep it going. And there we are. There's a very uninteresting picture of Rami. It's great. I mean, it's nice to, you want to be teased a little bit. You don't want to see too much. It's like, it's like go on a first date. You don't want to see too much. You don't want to see them in a thong and, maybe just a bit of leg. Yeah, I want to see a bit of leg, Rami. Yeah, well, I don't think you can say that Rami has chicken legs. So, right, okay, yeah, next shout out is, now this guy, he popped up, Abtin Shekarabi. Where's he from? I have no idea. Physique Classic Olympia 2018. So this guy is a pro in New Zealand Pro 2019. The reason I think he's prepped by Patrick Tour. But his condition, look at this guy's condition. Yeah, I'm sure he's prepped by Patrick Tour. Pretty good. Yeah. Look at the detail. I wonder how many weeks out this is. So here's a guy from California. I know absolutely nothing about this guy. He popped up on my feed. He's been popping up a few times now. And he's bloody impressive. I mean, I love, me, I'm a stickler for condition. But let's have a look. Yeah, I think I saw this video. Let's have a look. No sound. Is there any sound? Shite. Yeah, so I bet this guy just literally walks around with his top off all day, because that's what I would do. But trying to see much. I think it's pretty much all quite similar shots, really. Let's have a look at this one. I feel a bit of a schmo watching this one now. Pextrations. Fuck, look at that. He's so full. Wow. It's no information about what his show is or what he's doing next. I'll probably have to get some information from Patrick Tour, who I believe is his coach. He's not tagging Patrick in. What do you think? Come on, where's Patrick? Is Patrick? No. Okay. Well, like I said, I know very little about this guy. I just wanted to bring up his Instagram because his physique really jumped out at me. I think he looks absolutely tremendous. So maybe we can get him on a future episode and find out more about this interesting new chap. Right. Okay. Next shout out is Eric X Wood. Eric Wood. E Wood. I can't think of anything funny there to say. It was the North Americans. Well, this weekend. We're filming this on a Friday. Normally film this on a Sunday. So Eric won the North Americans overall. So he's a new IFBB pro. So congratulations. Fantastic. I know nothing about this guy. I literally saw that he'd won the North Americans and wanted to give Nathan Epler congrats, man. I wonder if he prepped him. And, oh, God, I hate that happens. Right, okay. Dean Caputo, Jonathan Withers, congratulations, bro. So, great photo there by Walt Whitman, I believe. So, yes, he's just won the North American. So we've got a new IFBB Pro in the house, on my laptop. And, Yeah, so great looking physique. 2 days out, Pittsburgh bound. Oh, he's prepped by Andrew Vu. Oh, yes, I remember. I've seen this picture. Yeah, he's got a lovely physique, this guy. He looks like a heavyweight to me. He's got nothing on his bio. What is it with these guys? I mean, I just hate it when they don't put their names on it. That really ticks me off. Okay. Well, so like I said, this news has literally just come in. Like I said, we're filming this on the Friday. There he is. That's his coach and friend, Andrew Vu. Andrew Vu, very well-respected coach. What did I say? Coke? What was it? Yeah, more pre-workout, please. Yeah, so that's Andrew Vu. I don't know what... Yeah, that's that. Andrew Vu. So there he is. Okay, Eric. So, yeah, couldn't have done it without you, ninja. Cool. Yeah, so I just want to say big congratulations there to Eric and welcome to the Pro League and the Pro Ranks. And it'd be interesting to see what you bring when you make your pro debut, whenever that may be. So, just want to give him a quick shout out and hopefully we can get some more info on him. And maybe he can put something on his bloody bio and educate us a little bit more on who he is and what his plans are. So, okay, next one is Mr. Olympia, 3.3 million followers. Still less than Chris Bumstead. Chris is 3.4. See, I told you, Chris Bumstead, bigger fan. I said last episode, Chris Bumstead has a bigger fan base than Big Ramy. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. So, I forget why I brought Big Ramy. He doesn't really put anything on his social media, does he? It's all advertising. Do you know what? I bet he just never even looked at his social media. I bet he doesn't even have Instagram on his phone. I think it's all done for him. It is all done for him, isn't it? Yeah, which is fair enough. I mean... Maybe he just wants to focus on being a bodybuilder and a father, which, is admirable. But,
can you imagine him being your dad?
Picking you up from school.
Someone picking you up.
Big Ramy. Stomp. Do you know what it is, though? I like Ramy. I like him. I've bumped into him, been around him a few times, and he's always smiling, and he's always very friendly, and he seems very approachable. And also, when I spoke to the people around him, they really love him. I mean, I remember once that was 2017, the Arnold Europe, he won that one. He beat William Bonac. Very close. And he was at the same hotel, and he was sat down, and he had people going up and getting his breakfast for him at the buffet. They were getting him watermelon and eggs, and it wasn't like he was clicking his fingers and saying, "Go get it, minion." It was just they just wanted to do it for him because they just love him. They absolutely love him. So and he broke our suitcase. Well, he didn't break it, but that's another story.
Broke your suitcase?
Yeah, we were supposed to get in the same cab together to go back to the airport at San Marino, and yes. Anyway, doesn't matter.
He had a big grip.
Yeah, crunch. So and also next shout out is Quintin Area. Gone a little bit quiet recently, which is usually a good sign. 61k followers. Very, very, I think he's 25, 26 now. Oh, he's with HD now. No, he was with HD before. Yeah. HD has huge teams. Crazy, isn't it?
Massive.
Yeah. But he kind of, he's dropped off a little bit, but he's, by the looks of it, he's looking good again. I think he did a bit of a reset last year. And he's kind of starting, so he's kind of, they clean their bodies out and all that. So, but he is doing Romania.
What's wrong with his pecs?
What's wrong with his pecs? What do you mean? I think he's just posing a bit wonky. Oh. But it's great to see him back. So he's going to Romania in, hang on, when was this? 11.5 weeks. Sergio, man. But I tell you what, Quintin, I mean, he's 25, 26? I mean, here's another one like Vlad Suruchko, Nick Walker. I'm not so much Regan Grimes anymore. I've gone off him a little bit. I've gone off in terms of what I think he could do. I feel like he's not reaching his potential. Oh, God, it sounds terrible, doesn't it? His mum's lovely. I've spoke to her. And Regan's lovely. He's a great guy. Oh, God. I'm dissing everyone now. I'm going to get so much hate this episode. But, So anyway, so Quintin is doing Romania. So I'm very excited to see how he's going to look because I've never seen him in flesh because I will be at Romania. So I'm very interested to see how his physique has progressed, really. Because I really rate this kid. I think his structure is absolutely sensational. That's the darkest photo I've ever seen in my life. God, come on. Don't pose on Batman, pose in the shadows.
That's your kind of thing.
So yeah, there he is. That was when that was Vancouver. That was the one 2019 Vancouver. That's the one that Hadi Chupin won, I believe. I'm sure that's Vancouver. I recognize the lighting and the stage and the setup. But yeah, so this guy can get in tremendous condition, and he's so young, and he's got such an amazing frame. I'm really excited to see what he's going to bring in a couple of years. So hopefully we'll get to see a new improved version of Quinton at the Romania Pro in November. We'll be there with Ashley Kaltwasser, kicking off the Olympia All-Star Tour. More on that next week. Right, okay. Right. Paul Cano, IFBB Pro. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I've been having a few rants lately. Like last one, it was the naked guys posing, with their trunk. I hate that. And there's something this guy posted resonated with me. Yeah, look. Never understood the concept of wearing a hoodie while you're training. Kai Green. My body would be on fire and comfortable training with a hoodie on. Kai Green. Besides, you work hard for your physique. Why hide it? Kai Green. So I'll be honest. I think if I'm going to give anyone a pass, I'll give it to Kai Green because, the guy has got an incredible physique. But it really annoys me when I see people wearing a hoodie with a hoodie up and they're training. I'll tell you what, Kevin Navarone gets a pass because he did it before it became a thing. Okay. And now you see gym rats, like everyone, just training with their hoodies up.
I don't mind them doing that, but please take a shower.
Why? Yeah, but why do they take... Oh, that doesn't... No, they don't... Putting your hood up doesn't make you smell.
No, I mean training in your hoodie. And the same hoodie without being warm.
Yeah, but our gym is bloody freezing, so in the winter, so you need to wear something, but why do they train with a hood up?
Makes them look gangster.
It makes them look gangster, yeah, wankster. Anyway, so I just saw that post and it made me laugh, so I thought I'd bring it up. Right, okay, our next shout out is Muscle Contest Island, run by Brian Bullman and, is it Tamer? Tamer or Tarek? Or is it both of them? One of the brothers. I want to get this right. Yes, this is where's the names? Come on, show me the names. Brought to you by, Bullman's. I'm not putting the names on. I don't want to get the name wrong. Is it Tamer or Tarek? But it's definitely Brian Bullman. Good friend of Sean Ray's, actually. They've been friends for years. And they run a 212 show and an amateur show in, is it Limerick? Did I just make that up? Oh, no. Ennis. Oh, Limerick Road, Ennis, County Clare, Ireland. I don't know where that is. I've been to Ireland a couple of times. Been to Dublin. That's all I know. I've been to Derry as well. But so they're doing another show on December the 4th. In fact, we're going to have to get on Brian Bullman because he's a very passionate promoter. And also, he's a big follower of the sport and he was a bodybuilder himself as well. So I think me and him could get on and have a really good conversation, have some good old-fashioned bodybuilding talk. But we need to get our logo put on there because if we're going to come over, I want to give these guys a lot of publicity and promotion. This is the one, Sami Al-Haddad's won this. They've had Dave Henry. Is that Nasser Hamed? Whatever his name is. Nasser something. Is that Ole? I think that's Ole Krivier. Is that Ole Krivier? Hang on. Yes, that's Ole Krivier from the Ukraine. But I think it's just 212 at the moment. And they're doing, obviously, an amateur show with the pro cards. But, I just want to give them some publicity and promotion because they're doing fantastic work over there in Ireland. And I know Robert Phil has a lot of his wellness athletes, he says, because he says he always has such a great experience with the promoters that, there we are. Is that Tamer? Yeah, that's Tamer. I believe that's Tamer Gwendy. And there's Brian Bullman there on the left there. But I think Brian's dad used to run IFBB Ireland with his dad. I'll get him on and we'll find out some more details. But he's a great guy, Brian Bullman, does great work over in and they do a good job of promoting the athletes as well. I follow their Instagram page. They do. Yeah, they love. There we are. Cool. There we are. Tamer. Yeah, Tamer El Gwindi. I love his little videos. It's cool.
Man and I will be there promoting one of the greatest shows in Europe. The greatest show.
He's like, no, the greatest show in Europe. Do you know what?
Absolutely. What I love
the industry's in great hands when you've got people in Europe like Tamer, Brian, Emilio, João Henriques, Gianrico Pica, Robert Piotrowicz from IFBB Poland, really, really good hands when, they do a fantastic job. So, hopefully we can get ourselves over to Ireland, have some Guinness. Do you know what? Guinness and Ireland, completely different. Oh, you don't drink, do you?
I don't drink, no.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll order 2 and I'll have yours. No, because I tried Guinness in UK and it tastes like dog shit. But I had it in I imagine it tastes like dog shit. It's like when you say a wine tastes oaky and you think, well, I've never eaten oak. So does that make sense? Do you know? Actually, I have a funny story. Do you know? I was so dedicated to my bodybuilding when I was a teenager. I went to a party on a Friday night at a friend's house. It was an all-nighter. And I had legs the next day with my training partner in Hereford. He was coming to pick me up on that morning. Stayed up all night at the party. Turned into a bit of a weird massage party. A story for another day. And I was so hungry and I was so worried about losing my gains. I ate cat food.
Oh, is that the cat?
I had tuna-flavoured kitty cat. And I had some of the Go Cat. And then after I'd eaten it, and pretty much everyone was stood around watching, thinking I'd done it for a dare or something. Someone pulled out a big tub of ice cream. So, but actually, I think I was still drunk, and I went to the gym and trained legs.
Was drunk.
Yeah, well, I was pretty much still under the influence. So, yeah, so that's how we do it in Wales in bodybuilding. So,
Get a hench.
yeah, to get a hench, yeah, yes.
That must be a new secret for people to do.
Cat food, yeah. It's disgusting. It's so oily. Oh, a Go Cat. It smells nice, but I tell you what, it doesn't taste nice. Go try some. Right, okay. Sponsored by Kitty Cat. Grow muscle. Right, okay. Our next shout out is IFBB Pro Poland. They just had an event last week and in Warsaw. Oh, this is the one in September that Anna Banks on this episode said that she is thinking of doing if she cannot get to the Olympia. So, they're doing a great job. Robert Piotrowicz was a fantastic open bodybuilder. I remember seeing him at the 2013 IFBB Europe. Made top 5 there against Ruli. What's his name? Ronnie Raquel and bodybuilders such as that. And yes, obviously we had in this episode, we had Wesley Vissers. Oh, I was so relieved when he finally qualified for the Olympia. Because he got 3rd in Portugal, looked incredible, but went up against, incredible. But I was really worried he wouldn't qualify for the Olympia. It was like Ruli a few weeks ago. I was thinking, oh, what if Wesley Vissers didn't get into the Olympia? But now he stayed on his diet, stayed on his prep, kept going. And look at that. He's finally nailed that condition. Look at the midsection.
Very flat.
What?
Vacuum.
You think he looks flat?
The vacuum.
Oh, the vacuum. Yeah. I don't see the fuss of those bloody vacuums.
It looks cool.
Do you think it looks cool?
Ever since Frank Zane made it popular.
Frank said, yeah, just, I don't know. It's not a be all and end all for me. But, there's Maz and Ali. There's Emilio. There's Bergman. Leon, is it? Leon Bergman? That's Juliet Bergman's sister. I don't know who this lady is. And I think that's Sabina. I think she was at Spain, friend of Emilio's. So, Maznali, he's the head judge. He's a good guy. Met him the first time I met him was in Miami 2012 after the Masters Olympia. Got a few drinks with him. Really great guy. Always say hi. So I just want to give a little bit of a shout out to the IFBB Pro Poland. Robert Piotrowicz doing a fantastic job. As you can see, the events look great. And they've got that's their athlete. This is the guy. Oh, what's his name? I forgot his name now. Is his name on here? Oh, bollocks. He won a pro show a few months ago, and he's qualified for the Olympia now. So he's going to the Olympia. So I'm so sorry I don't have his name in front of me. But Piotr. No, I can't remember. Right, okay. So they are building very, very nicely in the Pro League and the NPC Worldwide in Poland. So give these guys a follow. And and if you're looking to turn pro in Europe, this is a great event to go and do. So, right, okay. Next shout out is Wesley Vissers. Big Wesley, we just literally shouted him out here. 250,000 followers.
That's a lot.
Wow. Okay. Yes, so it's kind of the same sort of pictures here. Here he is the morning of the show. Let's have a look. Yeah, look, under that lighting, he doesn't look full. He doesn't look hard. I mean, I know he's flat and he's unpumped. And let's have a look. Oh, it's terrible phone footage, isn't it? It's almost like I don't want to see this because this doesn't do him justice. Although his legs look good. His legs look very good. So let's have a look at the moment when he won. Yeah, this is just literally as he was on stage. Yeah.
Okay, guys, we did it. We are going to the Olympia.
Yay! Fantastic.
Very excited. Got a very nice gold medal again.
Yeah.
Very nice statue. And of course, it's always nice to receive a check.
Oh, and he won a couple of grand as well, so that'll pay for his, I hope.
Bring an even better shape than this one, and I want to really thank for the incredible support.
Okay.
And don't forget to
stay golden. That's his thing, isn't it? Oh, we've got it.
I like the Van Halen in the background.
The Van Halen, yeah. So fantastic. He's going to the Olympia. So I was really that was a close one because I thought, and after Portugal, I thought I hope he keeps going. I hope there's more opportunities for him to compete. But and obviously Wesley has his great clothing range as well, Vintage Genetics. I think he does really well with it, But that's finally he's really started getting that formula right and really nailing the condition. In fact, I remember bumping into Wesley backstage at the 2018 at the Two Bros. It was the Royal London Pro, March 2018, and that was when he won his pro card.
How tall is he?
He's taller than me, 6'1".
Oh, wow.
He's a giant. He's huge. And if you see him in the classic lineup, I've seen the Arnold Classic, and he just dwarfs everyone. I mean, he's a very big guy. I mean, he's tall, he's wide, he's carrying a lot of muscle, and now he's really, I just hope he doesn't wear those silly trunks again.
He's got that, I remember that.
Oh, those trunks. I think that hurt him a couple of placings, I think one or two placings, had to. But look at the detail now. Look at that.
He's got a superhero chin.
Yeah. Hang on. I can't do it properly. Can't. Oh shit! You can't see. Yeah. Look at the fine details now. He's getting like a sinewy, grainy, dry, hard look now, isn't he? Look at that. Yeah. Do you think he's like a? Do you see him as like a kind of like an Arnold type or?
Yeah, he looks very Arnold.
You think? Yeah. I think really he's kind of sticking to that embodiment of what he sees as classic, with the posing, the style of physique. I mean, his legs are fantastic though. I mean, his legs are kind of better than what. If you want to take the 70s bodybuilders and call them classic and the way they pose and everything. But he's kind of like an updated version with better legs. And now his condition... Sorry, what you say? 2.0, yeah. No, he's fantastic. We like Wesley. And, great personality. And it's great. I hope he can get to the Olympia. Shit. Oh, my God. Imagine after all that qualifying and they say, sorry, we can't get you a visa or you've got to quarantine in bloody Mogadishu for 3 weeks or something. So, right, okay, next shout-out is Patrick Tour, our good friend and amazing super coach from Switzerland. 2 reasons mainly I wanted to bring him up was because Florian Poisson, here's another guy only in his 20s. He turned pro at the 2019 Portugal Pro, took 4th place in the Pro the next day. He didn't do too well last year. He got last at the British Grand Prix. It was a bit of a rush prep. But and he's had shoulder surgery and he's back at 280 pounds. So now here's another guy that let's be fair, we've all forgotten about him. Yeah. I mean, he had a great 2019, turned pro. 2020, it kind of went all horribly wrong for him. But, he's had shoulder surgery now. And here's a guy to keep an eye on, like the Rafael Brandeos, the Vlad Suchorotskos, the 20-somethings that literally are going to be the next generation. But, I mean, Florian's one of those guys that... who have we had on recently in the 20s that was really impressive? I like Martin Fitzwater. These guys are going to be potentially filling up the top 6 and top 10 Olympias in years to come. So great to hear that he is now back to it and, and he's released some pictures and looking fantastic. See, there's that guy I was telling you about. They are Abtin Shaharak. Sorry, I've just said his name before. Sorry, I'm getting tired now. But 2 days out. Hashtag plastic. Hashtag plastic. Look at that though. I mean, he's got a little bit of a filter on that one, but I mean, even still, you can still see the fine details. This guy is, I mean, I love that. Yeah, love the condition, love the striations and detail. So yes, he is prepped by Patrick. I can confirm that. And of course, we have James Hollinshead as well. Another of Patrick Tour's clients, qualified by winning Spain. He won Alicante last year and the British Grand Prix. Winning Alicante qualified him for this year's Olympia, so he hasn't been seen since. So he's just been deep in his off season. He's working he's looking huge. I mean, he's looking absolutely monstrous at 280 and some pounds. So he's like over 280 there, and he's looking in very good condition. I'd be interested to see how he looks at Olympia actually, because I think he's gonna do himself proud. I really do. Very dense, thick, and like you said, you saw him, didn't you, the other week?
Oh, he's huge.
And you didn't. What was it? Is he one of those guys that you see and you don't realize how big?
He is big. You're just like, oh, yeah, I've seen that body.
He's like a mountain, but he's in. And is he one of those guys that looks off season, but he's actually shredded?
Yeah. So his veins, when he sat down, they're all plugged and blood were flowing.
His veins. Yeah. So I mean, James. I mean, he never comes out of condition, James, and he's one of those guys. He's like kind of like Sean Clarida. One of those guys that just, every single time he competes, he's going to be bigger and better because he works hard. I mean, what was he squatting once? Was it 7 plates to the floor for like 8 reps? I mean, he's a beast. And I tell you what, that's what I'm looking forward to seeing at the Nationals. Fucking hell. Wow. This is, who was the guy that he said that is going to be, I forgot the guy's name now. He won a qualifier a couple of weeks ago, and I said he's now going to the Nationals and he's going to have to go up against Carlos Thomas Jr. But he's pro card first. yeah, don't get too excited. We've got to get his pro card first. So it'd be interesting to see how he looks with all that body fat and water completely stripped, because either way, we're going to see the best version of Carlos Thomas Jr. ever this year, which I'm very excited to see. Let me just check the times. Oh shit, we're running way over. Right, okay then. Next shout out is, that's something blank. Right, okay, we'll leave it there then. So, okay then guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. As always, we appreciate all the likes, all the support, all the views, of course, and all the comments and everything like that. So, I hope you've enjoyed it, and we will be back next week. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are out.